Well, here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, a little late. I was figuring a few things out there, but better late than never. Hey, this is episode 75 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. The date today is Monday, June the 22nd, 2020 at 7:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tonight, Tony, Michael, and I are watching the remake of Friday the 13th from 2009. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I'm coming to you live from the VoiceMann Studios in Toronto, Canada. He's Tony Michael in Atlanta, Georgia. Looks like he's got a Dr. Loomis gun there. Tony, you want to tell us all about that Dr. Loomis gun you've got there?
It's not. Well, Loomis was a Smith & Wesson. This is a Colt. My buddy Bruce, your buddy Bruce, it's kind of irony here. My buddy Bruce here in Atlanta is a prop maker for films and television shows. And I hit him up from time to time to make me shit when he's slow. And the last few months, he's been very slow. So I told him, I told him about the ideas that I had for some Michael pictures. And, you know, I looked at the samples that he had of the Smith & Wesson, similar to what Loomis shot. The problem that I was facing is that it's a very dark gun, and I shoot in a lot of abandoned places. So I'm like, I'm not going to get the gun. But then he showed me a replica, a Colt he did. And I'm like, ooh, I like that. I was like, because it can pick up the shine and whatnot. And if you actually had this next to a Colt, a real Colt six shooter, you wouldn't know the difference. He's got fake bullets in there. It won't fire. It's totally safe. But the cool thing is like, even though I am going to use it for like Loomis type stuff, I'm also going to use it for like Final Girl shit, shooting the killer, Scream, Ghost.
Oh yeah, and it's got a long barrel, so you can really get that,
the first one,
that depth perception.
Exactly,
you know what I mean? Like that depth of field.
He's making me two of them. He's making me the one with the long barrel and then one that's going to be probably about right here so that I have the options to go with the two.
Sure.
Really, really good. I got to get you his info so that if you ever need, you know, good props, you know, not fucking store-bought shit. He's talented. Very fucking talented. And I was laughing about it. I said, you know, the guy I do the shows with, his buddy Bruce, also works in the movie business up in fucking Toronto.
Yes. Yeah. Amazing.
It's weird how our lives are fucking parallel, dude.
It's the connections.
Weird. It's scary weird.
It's scary weird. Brother from another mother. Brother from another. No. Yeah. Brother from another mother.
From another mother.
If you were my sister, it'd be sister from another mister. Shout out to my girlfriend who came up with that one. At least I think, anyway. I don't know. I'd never heard of it before. So tonight we're watching the remake of Friday the 13th from 2009. Now, I know that a lot of people really like this movie. It did well in I think it did well. When I say well, I mean it did fine in its opening weekend, I think, but it sort of started to take a bit of a nosedive after that. It's one of the reasons why they never did another one, is because although people enjoyed it, it wasn't as profitable or as successful as they were hoping. Yeah. And that's why, and of course, obviously, then Friday the 13th fell into a rights issue, and it's why we haven't got another one. I did see this movie. You know, I don't know, probably about, it came out in 2009. I probably saw it about 2010, 2011, something like that. I haven't watched it since. But I do know that people really like this movie. And I am curious to watch it again. This will be the first time, like I said, in many years for me.
Same.
And curious
it's not one I watch very often.
Yeah, and I'll be curious to see how I feel about it. Now, again, it's, you know, I always tell people to take it with a grain of salt. We're watching the movie, but we're also hosting the show and we're answering questions and we're, you know, so our attention span is probably 65, 70% of what it would normally be if we were just sitting alone watching the movie.
My attention span is usually 30 here, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's true. That's true too. So, because if we were literally just watching the movie, it would be Tony and I like this for, 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And then, there'd be, you know what I mean? So obviously there might be some nuances and things that, we miss, but we'll get a good idea of what this is.
And we've never shared our opinions with you. We've never talked about this movie with each other. So everything's going to be really genuine tonight. I have no clue what you thought, whether you liked this movie or didn't like this movie.
I think I've talked about it on my channel, but I can't remember. Well, also, I mean, I didn't hate the movie. It's not like it's Halloween 5.
Right.
You know what I mean? Very few things are Halloween 5, but, or Freddy's Dead. Or Resurrection or Freddy's Dead, yeah. So let's get started. So I am watching it off YouTube. That's where I rented it digitally. And I am paused 3 seconds into the movie. You're just beginning to see the New Line Cinema. As a young child, I thought they were ladders. Of course, they are film strips.
Yeah, when they went red. I didn't like the red logo. I'm a big fan of the OG blue.
No, the blue and the white, yeah.
Blue and the white, New Line Cinema. But hey,
Hey, yeah, whatever.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. So that's where we are, folks. 3 seconds in, you're just about to see the New Line Cinema logo. Here we go in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Bam.
All right.
I called this movie the Friday the 13th Abercrombie and Fitch movie because literally every actor in this film looks like they stepped out of an Abercrombie catalog.
What I mean? It does have that vibe.
Like, everybody is just perfect. And that's what that took me out of it a little bit. Because with the classic Friday films, you had a good balance of the right mix of the character personalities. You know what I mean? The jock guy, the promiscuous girl, the nerdy girl that everyone wants to protect, and the final girl and whatnot. Yeah. Everybody's just hot. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Everybody's perfect, and
everybody's perfect. And isn't this I don't know if this, I think this movie has, because Hollywood has they do this with so many movies. They will color grade their movies to have like a teal greenish blue hue over everything.
I'm confident that has to do with Chainsaw, because Chainsaw did it and a few other people decided, like, well, if they did it and it worked, but let's do the same thing. You know what I mean? They tried the same that chain. Now I will say this: I love the opening to this. This is a movie I would not mind seeing. Like this whole like flashback sequence with the camp counselor girl and showing the decapitation of Pamela Voorhees. Right. I actually like this. And I'm like, I remember thinking, and when I saw this in the theater, like, damn, I want to see that movie first.
So this is, okay, so I haven't seen this. Okay, wow. Okay, so we are watching. So this, for all intents and purposes, this is like Adrian King's character here.
Exactly. It's
right.
Alice.
Fascinating.
Yeah, and I thought that this was really well done. I'm like, damn, give me that fucking film.
Yeah. Again, I've said it 1,000 times, and I always say it with a bit of an asterisk, because I do understand that Jason is the brand identity of the movie. I get it. I do understand that. But as we've talked about many times, Tony, there's something, I don't know. I mean, maybe you do. I would love to see something. Go back to 1958. Go back to before that.
Movie.
Before that. And so it's a movie with Pamela Voorhees. And we see her as the cook, but it's really well done. It's gritty, it's dark, it's intense.
Like this. Just like
this. Yeah, yes. Like this.
Absolutely.
And it's suspenseful and it's eerie, it's creepy, and that by the end of that movie, you're ready for Jason. You know what I mean? I mean, years ago in 1980, you had no idea that Jason was going to come in the ways that he did. I mean, he came out of the lake, of course, but nobody knew that was going to spawn a series with this hockey mask wearing, machete guy. Nobody knew that. Now you do know that, so you can set it up like you totally can set it up that way. And I think just make it like real. The believability, I think there's opportunity there. But again, I understand that they're trying to kill several birds with one stone here in this movie, because they know that they can't do the first movie over. Well, they believe they can't do the first movie on its own over again, because Jason's now he's the brand, and what is a Friday the 13th movie without him? I say, fuck, let's have a Friday the 13th movie without him and really build that foundation. But who the hell am I?
True.
But you're right, though, that there's a story there. Now
there's a really good story there. Now,
I mean, obviously we know the story. Like, we see this opening for a couple of minutes. We think back to the original film. We know that opening, but there's a new story here that we've seen the end of, and it's like I want to see that story.
the beginning. I want to see her become Pamela Voorhees and go on that, tear, for with Crystal Lake for a couple. Absolutely, dude. The shit that we were talking about the video we did, one of the very first videos we did on here together, in one of the first 5 anyways, is that backstory. And just if done right, it would be a great movie. And like you said, there's only so many times you can go to the well with Jason, the hockey mask version, which is why I'm opting to do the fan film Sackhead, because nobody's done it, and it's fresh territory for me. I can
100%.
explore and do whatever I want. I don't have to worry about the continuity of the films, because my Jason doesn't fit in that. So I totally agree with the backstory of Pamela Voorhees. There is just a lot.
There's a lot of opportunity.
In the right hands, you can do a really good fucking film, or film or 2, possibly 2.
Yes, and if you take it seriously and really make it intense, fucking scary. I think it was one of our first episodes we've ever done here where we talked about that and laid down a foundation for a way that you could do that.
Absolutely.
You open up on sirens and shit, and it's 1950, 3 or something, and Jason's only I don't know what he is, maybe he's 5 or something, so he's not really an issue in the movie, but it's all Pamela, and these kids were murdered at this I don't know, just go back and tell the story of this woman.
Absolutely.
Damn, man, that would be fucking awesome. But
so we're now at the point where the kiddies are out venturing to find good old Mary Jane.
Yep, that's right. They got the nice big...
Which, by the way, I have come to the conclusion at this point, I think that is our only hero. I think everybody just needs to get together and smoke a lot of weed and chill the fuck out. Because if you haven't been following the news, man, Atlanta's been pretty stressful for the last fucking week and a half with the cops calling out and shit.
I would just I would put weed in everything. Just put it in the cereal.
Absolutely.
Put it in the bread.
Everybody gets high and everyone chills and everyone loves each other.
Put it in the bread. Yep. Put it in the bread, put it in the cereal, put it in the meat.
Gummy bears.
Actually, put it in the water. Throw it in the water right now. I think
brownies.
Yeah.
Put some THC in your Gatorade, so not only are you replenishing your electrolytes, you're getting a good high.
There you go. I think I'm watching this now. We are about 6 minutes 45 seconds into the movie. They're all sitting around the campfire. I remember now watching this movie for the first time. I just feel like this is rushed. I feel like all of a sudden they're camping and they're telling the story. I don't know.
Are you talking about this hard opening? Because this is like a second. Well, they had the first opening, which is the backstory of Pam Voorhees. Right.
And then you have this.
Now this is a hard opening that's leading into the actual film. So you don't like the hard opening here?
It just feels sort of, I don't know. I think maybe we could have, no, you're right, because Jason comes and kills
towards the end, and then you kick into the actual story with the main character.
Right. I guess.
How does he pronounce his last name? The supernatural guy.
I forget.
That's in this Pekalecki, whatever. Jared, whatever your last name is.
Pekalecki.
He's coming back to find his sister, who's part of this group.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It's shorter. Is for sure could have been shorter, because remember, these are not the main characters of the film except for his sister.
That's right.
So this could have been cut down a little bit to chew off some of the fat and tell more of the other story that eventually we get into.
Right. I think maybe if maybe something like that, or I don't know. I mean, again, I haven't watched this movie in a long time. I'm watching it on the fly here, sort of just spontaneously, kind of, in the talking about how I feel in the moment, and I'm not having a lot of time to think, but it was what I do remember that, but I think when I watch a movie like this, it just, you're right, it feels too polished a little bit,
That's it. I mean, that's really
the way
my
everything's
only complaint.
lit.
Is it's too polished. It's not a bad movie. Like, I didn't walk out of the theater going, well, that sucked. You know what I mean? Like, I saw it with my brother, and we both walked out like, yeah, it was cool. You know what I mean? Like, it was fun. Like, it wasn't like we this sucked. You know what I mean? It was just, all right, that was cool.
But I don't think it's, I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people love this movie, and they think it's one of the best ones. It just doesn't feel like a good first movie. It feels sort of
as
like,
far as like a relaunching.
yeah, it just feels like it needs more, I don't know, needs more foundation, more meat on the bone. It just feels like I feel like I could be watching part 5 in a series right now. You know what I mean? Like just the way the characters are, the way.
Okay, I think what you're saying. Yeah.
The way things are executed.
Maybe they should have focused more in on the opening there with the Pam Voorhees story and telling that story. That might have, but like you said, Jason's the brand, man. He's the brand. Hockey mask, and especially, maybe today's movie audience would be more receptive to a Pam Voorhees story because continuity and whatnot, that matters, whereas we didn't give a shit back in the day.
No, it's true.
It was just like whatever.
Okay, look, I just got to say, I mean, as a man, I'm looking at those breasts and it's like, it doesn't, no, but it doesn't.
Friday the 13th, you need boobs, man.
No, you do, but those are so fake. They're like 2 bowling balls taped to her chest. I'm just, ladies, I'm just, it's my own personal opinion, ladies. If you're small breasted, own it. It's okay. You're beautiful. Don't get the 2 big bowling balls that just sit on your chest that have no cleavage and they don't move and they just, I don't know. I've never been a fan of fake breasts. Certainly not fake breasts like that. I mean, she's very attractive, but it's like this 2 big sandbag bowling balls just sitting there, and it's just like, I don't know. That's me. That's my own personal thought on that. I don't know. I think this is where he gets killed, right?
And he also finds the weed.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and I think if I remember, they sort of do their version.
Was that your thunder?
I told you, dude.
I totally heard that.
Pissed off at us right now, man.
I heard it.
He's mad. It is freaking going nuts out there tonight.
Brandon Berry says,
did you see the video I shared the other day with the hailstorm that we had here?
Oh yeah, that was intense.
Nuts.
Brandon Berry says, but Dave, I have a new sound effect, folks. Here you go.
But Dave.
Just for you guys.
Just for you guys.
Oh, Popeye 129. You know what's funny? You say your favorite Halloween sequel to Halloween is Halloween 2, 1981.
Yeah.
I was just saying to someone, I've probably watched that movie the most in the franchise. Honest to God. It's 3rd on my list, but right. I've watched that particular Halloween the most. I've already watched it 3 times this year, and I'm going to probably watch it more times. Right. I don't know. Yeah. It's just one film that I always go back to and I enjoy watching it. I don't hate it. I just enjoy it. It's a good film. It's smooth, it picks up from where the, first one leaves off, and, everything just boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? And it's a fast film. I think that's why I watch it a lot.
Yeah, maybe it is. Yeah.
No drags. No moments where it drags.
Yeah. So we're watching the 2 people here going into the.
And we're at
where Camp Crystal Lake was.
Yeah, this is
I want to see that. Like, I think you had such an opportunity to. I'd tell that story. I'd make it gritty. Yeah, but make it really not polished, not just like really gritty and atmospheric and really scary. Like, I know people say, but it's a slasher and you don't. I know. But if you're just gonna make the same fucking thing. Like, so what? Like a reboot of Friday the 13th is just going to be this movie essentially that we're seeing here again? Like, I mean, I say make it, it's a slasher, there's blood, there's gore, but make it really scary, like dark and just, I don't know, just not so polished, not so, like, don't get Blumhouse to do it, maybe if they, I don't know, just something gritty, where things are the contrast is high in certain darkness, and I can't see certain areas.
Contrast and add more grain to it and give it that old, throwback look.
Something like that, and then tell this story about this camp in the 50s where this lady is a cook or whatever, and she has a boy at the camp, and but it's a real gritty, and it's a I mean, we know who it is now because of pop culture, but you could even play it as a whodunit. You can still play it as a whodunit. You can tell that story as well. And then maybe, I don't know, or what you do is, as we've often said, you do one movie, but you open it up in 1950, whatever, 2 or something, where there's been a slaughter of children, like at the camp and shit. And it opens up and there's these cops that are there, and, and the cops are going through the, the cabins, and it's it's the shaky POV shot, and they're looking around and you can see the bodies of children. You know what I mean? And it's like, what the fuck? It's like, what the fuck? And the only survivor, quote unquote, is Mrs. Voorhees. She's the only survivor. You know what I mean? And she tells this bullshit.
I see what you're saying.
She tells this bullshit. She tells this bullshit story essentially about how there was this weird maniac that came in, and everybody believes her because it's the 50s and she's a woman. You know what I mean? But she's fucking crazy, and the only survivors are her and her, her son, her mentally, deficient developed son, whatever the case is him. You know what I mean? And maybe they, I don't know, and then you jump from there to what would be like the 1980 film, but you tell it over in a, in a more modern sort of, I mean, I really think there's a real, and then when you get to a movie like this, you have that first film to really feel, when they walk into Camp Crystal Lake, you feel it. You can feel the history. You can feel the nostalgia. You can feel the memories because of that first movie. I mean, the first movie in 1980 is not connected to this new movie. So it's not like when they see Camp Crystal Lake, I'm not like, wow, there it is. No, because this is my first time ever fucking seeing it in this new timeline. Yeah. Like the 1980 movie ceases to exist. This is like pretending that never happened. So it's almost like if you really rip it out, a really strong first movie that takes Pamela Voorhees to the next fucking level. You know what I mean? And then she dies at the hands of this Alice chick or whatever. And then, oh boy, you think that was bad. Now Jason's coming. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, again, I understand that they would probably never even approach that idea because, you get people going,
But Dave!
I get it, but Jason, I understand it. From a business perspective, I totally get it. But man, from a fan perspective and a story perspective and really building that burn and that nostalgia and just setting that foundation, man, I think that's how you do it. I think that's how you do it. Because what are they going to do with a new Friday the 13th? Are they just going to do this movie over again where they show you a bit of the, Pamela Voorhees thing at the beginning and then what are you going to do? You just did this already.
Hockey mask one, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
where are you going to go with that? Where are you picking up? You know what I mean? If you're going to start the series over again, then basically what you're going to have is an alternate reality 2009 film. And this movie, the production, it's not that old. So you're going to have... Now it's a decade, believe it or not. It's crazy.
Yeah, but in terms of you'll have 2 movies that are essentially just sort of I don't know. It's just I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll be very curious to see what they decide to do once the rights,
I am interested though. I would love to. I saw the story about Stephen King's Friday the 13th Jason book he wants to do.
I saw that.
Yeah, I'd love to see just his perspective, his take on it. I'd love to see him do a Friday the 13th book. That'd be really cool.
Yeah,
I'm right. Sure it's layered as fuck with shit that you're gonna have to dive deep into. But that's Stephen King.
Probably. You're right though. This opening is way too long.
Already, it's 20 minutes.
Yeah, this should
have been cut down easily. This should have been at the 10-minute mark.
Yeah. This
it was more of a rap. That's what I thought. It wasn't the sack. It was more of almost like Myers 4 from Halloween 4, the rap that they did.
Yeah, it's some sort of rap or whatever.
Similar to that.
Yeah. I'm telling you right now, though, there's something to be said of just seeing Jason like this without a hockey mask. I love the hockey mask.
That's what I'm saying, man. I get the hockey mask is freaky, but this is fucking menacing as fuck.
Oh, yeah. Oh, bear trap. Oh! Whoa, man. Yeah, that would suck to be burned alive, man. I think I might rather... Would you rather be burned alive or drown?
Oh, that's tough.
Man, burned alive would be so painful.
Burned alive would be painful, but choking on water, I'm sure can't be.
No, but maybe drowning is faster, maybe? I don't know. What would the chat room rather? Would you rather be burned alive? Now think about this now. Really think about this. Would you rather be burned alive or drown? I have a feeling people are going to say drowning.
Yeah, everyone's saying drowning.
Oh, well,
drown. Yeah.
That's what I thought. Just going over to the super chats, make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, there was. Super chat came in from Southpaw82. Thanks, buddy. Says, Rob Zombie's Friday the 13th.
Better with Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, I'd rather see a zombie chainsaw film.
Yeah.
Personally. There's something in there. It's his mother's head. As if you'd stick your hand in there. Would you stick your hand in there? I wouldn't stick my hand in there.
Look who you're asking, man. I'm in abandoned places like every other day.
I mean, no, it's true. It's true. If
I mean, by now I'm so numb to it. Like, people ask me that all the time. Like, yeah, I go into these places almost any time of day or night. It's just when you do it so much, I mean, of course I am protected, and it's not like I'm walking in there not unarmed or anything.
No, of course.
You know, I mean, it doesn't scare me in this, spooky sense.
Right. Yeah, I mean, this movie is fine for it's ooh, that would suck.
Right through the foot.
That would suck.
Pretty accurate with that machete through the floor, though.
Yep.
Just saying, like,
ooh, oh man, yeah, that's great. I like that. Super chat from Brandon Barry says, thoughts on Michael Keaton returning as Batman? Yeah, I heard about that. He's supposed to be returning as Batman in the Flash, whatever. And I'm just like, why? Isn't what? Isn't
I don't know. I haven't really read up on it.
I'm so continuity is really important to me. Linear continuity is really important to me. And I'm just like, so Michael Keaton is now the Ben Affleck Batman in the Flash's movie with Ezra Miller, because Ezra Miller was the Flash in Justice League. So it's the same Flash, but a different Batman, but an older Batman,
it's a different universe.
Is he the
Flash
same?
Can do multiverse.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, I didn't know that. This is why you don't get your superhero information from me. So is he going to be the same Batman from?
Well, that's the part I see. What I don't know is where are we with him as Batman? Are we at Batman Beyond? Batman, you know what I mean? Like, which is, for those who know what I'm talking about, it's when Batman's older, which everyone has asked for Michael Keaton to do. They want Michael Keaton to do a Batman Beyond and let him and Burton do one more film together, and that complete their trilogy.
Right.
And but yeah, so it really depends on how they execute it, and like where are they going with Michael Keaton as Batman, and which multiverse are we going into with Flash? So it's a lot of that factors into the story and how it's executed.
Yeah. Oof. That sucked to have that trap around your ankle, man. Come on, woman. Come on, woman.
There's places up where I go hiking that you have to watch out for bear traps.
That was great. I mean, I will say this. Again, I haven't seen this movie in a long time. The kills are what you expect from a Friday the 13th movie.
Absolutely.
You know, this is
polished up to 2019.
09, you mean?
That's right. 09.
Yeah. But it's it is what I would expect. 6 weeks later, we remove ourselves from the intensity of that scene. We're now at the outpost here with this SUV that pulls up. I like that. I like the contrast, that things are sort of, here's the new group of people. I wonder if he's a dead fuck. You think this guy's a dead fuck?
I said that was my, someone asked me if I could pick any guy to play in, like, any character to play in a horror film, who would I pick? I'd want to play Crispin Glover's character.
Yeah.
I get to have,
but you got to do the dance. You got to do
exactly.
Dance.
I get a funky dance. Yep. I get a hot twin. Okay,
that's true.
And I get a corkscrew through the hand, and fucking my head gets a meat cleaver, which a cleaver is one of my favorite tools.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
What about you? Who would you pick? If you had to pick one of the male guys in all the horror movies, who would you want to be?
Oh, out of all the horror movies?
Yeah. You could pick one of the guys.
Out of all the horror movies. Man, that's a tough one.
You know you're going to die, but who?
Okay, I'm going to die. I would say then, geez, I don't know. That's a good question. I'd probably, I don't know. So I'm going to die. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Bob from Halloween. That's a good one. That's a good one to be, right? You know,
you get to make out with PJ Souls.
Right. Yeah. And then you get
not a bad day on the job.
Not a bad day on the job. And you get lifted up and pinned against the door, or maybe or Ben Tramer go out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah, you go out in a blaze of glory, or did you?
Or did I?
There's a lot of fan theories out there about good old Ben Tramer.
That's true. That's true. You okay, bro?
I hated this dude. He's so fucking Abercrombie. Jared's not too far off from it, but he's very Abercrombie. Yeah, but he plays it well. You know, he does it well. Like he's a prick, and he plays the prick well.
Right. Oh yes, we have the sympathetic girlfriend who is dating. Oh no! Wait, no. She's not with that guy, is she? Is she? But doesn't he have sex with the blonde?
Oh, yeah, he cheats on his girl.
Oh, he cheats on his girl. Okay. Oh, see, of course. There I am, the wind's blowing in my hair.
When I see Jared do that, I'm thinking, like, is he in a Supernatural episode?
He is. Know what I mean? The wind is blowing.
That look on his face. Him and Dean are about to go whoop some ass.
That's it. The wind is blowing through his hair.
You know, I like Supernatural. I just couldn't hang with it for 15 years. You know what I mean?
You know what's funny?
I cut off around when Smallville ended, after the 10th season of Smallville.
I've never seen an episode, and that's awful because it's right up my alley. I know
it is. It's a good show. I think you would enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Bet it is.
For a CW type, horror show, I guess you can call it. It's pretty decent.
Intel Wild says, Dave, you could have played Bucky. Oh, Bucky.
Bucky from Halloween 4.
That'd be fun. Now you just wait right there.
Don't you try that Halloween shit with me.
That's what I said. Now don't you try that Halloween shit with me. Oh, totally. If Blumhouse ever wanted to put me in a Halloween film, I'm available. And but you got to kill me, and you got to kill me good.
Yeah, I want to die. I don't want to live. I want to know I want it to be an epic death. I would never want to live, because the whole point of being a horror movie is you want to get killed by the killer.
Well, that's it. Exactly.
So you can have on your resume, I was killed by Michael Myers.
There you go. I want Marion Singh type death. not that exact death, but a death that's like, whoa. Now here's the cop talking to the suspicious guy who's not a local around here.
Right.
I know you're
Rambo.
That's right. That's right. I know your type. Who you looking for? My sister. Well, I know you're not from around here, punk. Gonna put on my shades. You may want to try looking someplace else, because your sister ain't around here. You always have one of these cops and every. I mean, Jesus, are they all like that in the country? Always suspicious of the non-local residents, and if there is somebody,
cops out in the country, like the country where I live, they don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
No, it's true.
There's shit going on out there.
Yeah, it's true. Like, what a douche. Like, how would you end up with somebody like that? Like
I will say, him being a douche, the payoff of his death is great. They did a really good job on that.
Yeah. But I look at the girl, right? And she seems very sweet. Not the one he cheats on with, but the brunette there or whatever.
Yeah.
She seems very sweet, right? She's got sort of a nice kind of demeanor, very sweet. and then you have like the contrast. Like I always find the believability in some movies very difficult. Like I suspend my disbelief and I just go with it. Obviously, it's a horror movie, right? But sometimes when the guy is so douchey, like, oh fuck you, man. Oh, you're looking for your sister, eh? Crumple this up. It's like, how can this girl who's like, don't, Bob, it's just, it's the way he is. Like, what are you doing with him? What are you doing with each other? Like, how does a girl so sweet end up a guy who's so outwardly douchey? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you discover he's a douche. No, he's just a fucking douche. He's just a douche. Like, he's like, yeah, maybe your sister is, and then he sees like, the thing on the back of the truck and he's like, and crumples that up. And it's like, how does this chick out? What do you see in this guy? You can't tell me that at one point this guy was dashing, and nice and polite and hi, how are you? Well, I think you're very nice. No, I mean, you cannot, nobody hides that much of a douche. You can't be that douchey and hide it. You just can't. You know what I mean? So I guess the chick just likes douche. Or maybe he just wanted his dick.
I was just appreciating that epic bomb.
Beautiful
that he pulled
I
out.
thought you were talking about the cinematography.
No. There was just a bong, a real epic bong. But you know what? The girl who plays the love interest for Jared in this movie, who also is with the douchebag at the moment, she looks like she could be Lee. How's she pronounce her? Remini, the girl from King of Queens.
Leah Remini.
Yeah, she looks like she could be her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that looks like it could be her daughter in this movie.
Yeah,
I just was looking at her, I was like, damn, she looks a lot like her.
Yeah. This is a very Texas Chainsaw Massacre scene here.
It is, totally.
With the hick old lady that comes to the door and goes, she ain't missing. She's dead. It's very sort
Crystal Lake is out in the country. I mean,
it is.
And I like that
100%.
that they start to show you a little bit of the town beyond just the lake.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. But if I didn't know any better, I could believe that this was in another, like a Texas movie or something. But I like the idea of it. I like when she says, she ain't missing. She's dead.
Yeah.
And the look on his face. It's like, now I know these parts. I know that there's a killer up there. She ain't missing. I love the way she's got her lips sort of perched. Yeah, that's great. She ain't missing. She's dead. That's right. You hear that? That's right. Who? Who? That's what I would ask. Who? There you go. I ain't telling you.
Isn't he going to be the new Texas Walker Ranger?
Is he?
They're
doing a Walker Texas Ranger?
Whatever the show is. The old Chuck Norris show.
Yeah. Walker Texas Ranger. Oh, I think you're right, actually. Yes.
Isn't he going to is it going to be like the martial arts shit? Like Norris was doing back in the day? Because I can't picture Jared doing that shit, man.
No idea, man. No idea. But I think you're right. I think he is going to be doing that. Yes.
I gotta say, like, it's not a diss at Jared, but of the two guys on that show, Supernatural, Jensen Ackles is a way better actor. I mean, that's not a diss at Jared or anything. I'm not saying that the show that he's going to do here with Walker Ranger is going to be bad, but I think Jensen Ackles is going to do pretty well, once he breaks away from Supernatural. Dude's just got real good talent.
Yeah. Super Chad comes in from a couple of them.
See, she looks just like this could be her daughter, man. Not Leah herself, but it looks like it could be her daughter.
Yeah, a little bit.
If you've seen because she's in, she was in Saved by the Bell. She plays Zach Morris's girlfriend.
Yeah, I know.
That's the first time I saw her.
Same.
Was when she was on that. I know she did shit before that in the 80s, but I don't really remember it. That's the Saved by the Bell. And you can see like a young Leah in her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, look at this douche. Like, what? Like, as if you would end it. But it's such a cliche thing. You got, the main guy here who's going to sweep her off her feet because he's not a douche and he's strong and he's a rugged outlaw. He's a rugged outlaw. Jason Nike sends in a super chat. Thanks, Jason.
Red Barn callback.
Yep. says, hey, Dave and Tony, this is for the channel. Dave, sorry about being MIA lately. My channel is keeping me busy. 2 weeks ago, I never shot or edited anything in my life. That's okay, man. That's amazing, my friend. That's amazing. Jason has started up his own channel, so if you guys want to go over and check it out, it's in its infancy, so it's a work in progress, but he's got a lot of things going on there. So, Jason, totally understandable, man. Totally understandable. Thanks for the super chat, buddy. Terrell Sims just sends in a super chat supporting the channel. Thank you, Terrell. Marcus85 sends in a super chat, says Friday the 13th Netflix series, Bates Motel. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. Maybe. You'd have to think about where you'd go and what you would do, and because the average span of a season on Netflix, or the average span of a show on Netflix is about 3 or 4 seasons.
Which is great for Cobra Kai fans, because Cobra Kai is officially over at Netflix. So that at least if Netflix stays true to it and doesn't pull a Lucifer on Cobra Kai, which I'll be pissed if they pull a Lucifer.
Oh, yeah, that sucks.
I'm hoping now this means we might get 3 to 4 more seasons of Cobra Kai, that there's, enough content there. And I think the writers did say that they could go a few more seasons with this, and I hope Netflix honors it. I'm excited because now I don't have to do YouTube TV, and I can cancel that shit.
Yes, I'm looking
because I canceled YouTube. The only reason why I had YouTube TV was because of fucking Cobra Kai.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what season 3 is like, because I really enjoyed both seasons.
Yeah, they're great. They're great.
You can't take them too seriously. Like it's very sort of, again, not spoofy, but
it's like Karate Kid, but more modern. They've set it into that modern time to stylize the fighting. It is, because you couldn't get away with the shit that they were doing in the original Karate Kid today.
But the fighting itself is it's very like there's
unrealistic.
Yeah, exactly. There's a whimsy to it.
But it's okay. It's a charm that makes it work.
That's right. That's right.
This dude looks like the dude from Chainsaw Massacre.
He does.
Doesn't he?
He does a little bit.
Not the Jessica Biel one, but the Jordana Brewster one, the beginning.
Oh, okay.
He looks like he could be the guy who was going back to Vietnam, not him, Jordana Brewster's boyfriend, but his brother that was burning his draft card. He looks like that dude.
I've only seen the movie once. I'd have to watch it again to know but I get it.
Which I'm probably guessing both those movies came out around the same time frame. So, I remember that in this run of the like the 2008 to 2012, guys were having these, retro 70s style hairdos again. That was a thing for a very, very brief minute. Like you see Jared's hair here is kind of, looking all like
Texas
what's her name?
Chainsaw,
Farrah Fawcett like.
Texas Chainsaw, the beginning was, I believe, 2006. And
so there you go. So it's all within like, a few years of each other.
Yep. Michael Myers says, Dave, have you seen Avengers Endgame yet? Nope. No, I probably won't see it anytime soon.
That's what I got to say about that, Dave.
All gone.
It's inevitable. I'm inevitable is actually the line, but.
It is.
You gotta watch Endgame, man, because I want to know your thoughts on it.
Well, I mean, if I watch it without the context of the other films, then it's not really, you know what I mean? It would be better if I had seen every other, because I've only, out of the 22 Marvel films, I think I've seen like 3. So I'd have a lot of catching up to do to get the full effect and impact.
Just watch Infinity War and Endgame, you're good.
All right. What a douche, this guy. This guy needs a punch in the head. No, you don't know me. Oh, somebody feels threatened.
No, but I will say this, man. Jared's a tall dude because he's towering that guy.
Oh, yeah, he's tall.
Or that guy is just really short.
I don't know.
I mean, look at him. He's towering all 3 of these people.
Well, he's probably 6'2", 6'3", maybe.
Well, then the blonde-haired dude is really short.
Oh, maybe he's 5'10". I don't know. 5'11", 5'10", 6'3". I don't know. How tall? What's this guy's name again?
This girl's only coming up to his shoulders.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And the
I mean, look at he's huge. He's a big fucker, dude. I didn't realize he was that big.
Yeah, he is. He is. What's his name again?
Jared whatever, Lecky, something like that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Jared Padalecki.
Oh, he's definitely 6'2", if not taller than that.
Okay. Well, yeah, he's he's 6'3".
Okay.
Yeah, he's 6'3". That makes sense.
He'd be a good Michael or a good Jason. He's got the physique for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And
taller version.
How tall is Derek Mears? Like 6'7", something like that?
He's about that. This is back when everybody wanted him and Tyler to go at it, to
duke it out.
Versus a Michael versus Jason, because they're about the same height.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's 6'7". I think he's like 180.
The only way you would have made that look even remotely good, the Derek Mears versus Tyler, Jason, Michael, is if Vince McMahon was in charge of making it. You know what I mean? That is the only way that shit would look good.
That's it. That's it.
That would have been fun though. If like you had Vince McMahon behind it, you know, and actually make it a movie, not like or make it a wrestling movie, I guess. But you know, like fans know, like it's not like anything part of the continuity, and just McMahon do your thing and make your like ultimate death match wrestling match between Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees. What the hell? Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Fucking do that? Why not do it?
But Vince has got to commentate it though. That would be my stip, because he was such a great commentator.
Vince and Jesse Ventura.
Yeah. Oh, that would be. Can you imagine that? Vince McMahon and Jesse Ventura.
I'm telling you, McMahon.
Myers, the Jason match. Oh, that would be epic.
Jason ain't got time to bleed. Timestamp is we are 40 minutes and 40 seconds into the movie. That's where we are here. Friday the 13th, 2009.
Oh my God, Jim Ross.
Oh, Jim Ross. Jason!
No, Loomis comes. You have a character dressed up as Loomis come in and hit Jason with a chair, and Ross is on the mic. Loomis, it's Loomis.
Yeah, it's
like Austin.
That's it. Oh my God! As he starts losing his mind, that'd be great.
Oh my God!
Doesn't
someone's got to make a YouTube video like that? Who's good at impersonations and has, you know, that type of cosplay costume?
Yes.
And just fucking do a wrestling match with the Michael versus Jason, but in the voices of Vince McMahon, JR, and Jesse the Body and the King. You got to have the King there too.
That's true. Doesn't Jason get his mask in this movie from the
right around here
from the stoned Asian guy or something? Oh no, it's here. I thought he got it from the Asian guy in the movie that's always stoned.
Filmatic. He's broken in half. My God, I think he's dead.
I don't think he gets it here. I thought he gets it or is it here?
No, he gets it right here because he pulls the thing off of him.
Yeah, see, there goes show you. I haven't watched this movie in so long. Oh, great effects. Great stuff.
I wonder if he was going to kill him or not, is the big question. Because he's been going there stealing the gasoline and shit. Oh, yeah, this is when he finds the hockey mask. There it is, just perfectly lit.
Look at the
like
light.
That.
I know. The question is, what is this guy doing with a hockey mask like that? I guess it's just a room full of junk. Oh, he likes it.
Oh, and it'd have to be a Hell in a Cell match. Absolutely Hell in a Cell match.
Yes.
It would be fun. It would be fun to watch. Be stupid, but it'd be fun. Willa Ford. She had like one hit in like the late 90s, early 2000s. I remember her because she came into the radio station when I was working for them at the time, and we met her. And she was promoting her song. I forget the name of that song now.
Is this where she takes? Oh, excuse me. He takes them water skiing, and she sees him on the.
Yeah.
I think this is where it happens. This is where they're spending time with each other. She's smiling. Oh, he's so tall. I like this guy. He's so much more handsome than my.
Playing with her hair.
The wind's blowing it. Look at his locks.
They shot this in Texas too, I think.
Did they really? Look at his locks blowing in the wind. Oh, he's such a handsome man. He looks like that guy from Supernatural.
Oh, I remember those GPSs. That was like when GPS was like really in the infancy.
Yes.
Before like our smartphones had the capability of it and whatnot.
That's a nice shot. Tracking shot through the trees.
I will say this,
backlit.
watching
like
this, the one thing I will say, like, it just goes to show you, like, oh yeah, sorry, we see Willa's boobs. Thank you for that. There's no the technology. You don't really see much of the technology in this movie.
Right.
And it's 2009, which goes to show you how much we've advanced in just a decade. You know what I mean? You don't see them really on iPhones in here. I think the kid who went off looking for the weed had an what were those? Was it an iPad? iPod.
iPod. Yeah,
so
yeah.
I had an iPod back in the day.
Right.
But that's about it. You're not seeing them like, you know, I need to put this on my Instagram or whatever. Like none of that.
Right.
Which goes to show you how new this shit is.
Oh yeah, because in 2009 the iPhone was only 2 years old.
That's right.
And this, you know, might have been shot. Well, this came out. This would have been shot in 2008. So I mean, you know, people were still. I mean, the BlackBerry was still really hot at that time. Flip phones were all the rage. I had a flip phone. Yep, same here. I had a Samsung flip phone.
I still remember have all like texting was like, you have to hit the number like 10 times to get to the letter.
I don't know how the hell we ever did it. It's just gross.
Well, it wasn't a thing. Texting really was not a thing. We weren't doing that much texting back in the day because it was such a pain in the ass to do.
Right. No, we were calling each other. We used to call each other. Like I've often said, our phones, like, this is not a phone. It's a pocket computer. It's a computer that just so happens to make phone calls. We talk on the phone and use this as a phone so seldom. We use it way more as a computer.
Oh yeah, I mean, my phone calls consist of clients and family.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty much it.
That was an interesting kill there. I had.
Yeah, that's gonna give you a headache.
Yeah, that was an interesting kill though. The bow and arrow, or the bow through the arrow through the skull.
Miss Super Chat. Who did we miss? Hold on, I'm scrolling.
What did we miss? Oh, let's see here.
Oh, Intel Wild. Dave, any It's Me Billy Indiegogo teaser for you? Us.
Indigo. The It's Me Billy Indiegogo teaser. I'm hoping maybe in the next week or so. Maybe in the next week, because we'll be launching the campaign very soon. Like within the next. What is it? Yeah, probably in the next 10 days, maybe, something like that. So it is coming. It is coming. Thank you for asking, Intel. Really appreciate that, man. Oh, I have a text message. It's probably from Bruce, which it is.
Bong Man, I like your name. I do enjoy the efforts to mix in part 1, 2, and 3 together in one remake. Yeah, I agree with that. I do like how they managed to smoothly put that in. My only gripe, like I said, is just it's too polished, and that fucking hard beginning was fucking, way too long. They could have really cut that down by even 5 minutes. But no, I agree. I like how they were able to, and some of the nods, like the red barn, that where he gets the hockey mask in. I mean, it's not a Friday the 13th film without a red barn, right?
That's true. That's a good point. I like that shot up through the.
I've always liked that. I've tried to figure out a way how to do a photo like that, but it's like literally impossible.
Stabbing her in the head and bringing her up like that was just so you could see her boobs. I think that was pretty much probably it. See, now her boobs, I think, were fake, but they looked better than the girl's boobs did at the beginning of the movie. They're I think this blonde. Look, there are some men that were just like, boobs are boobs, man. I don't care. Fake boobs, real boobs, small boobs, big boobs, saggy boobs, whatever, man. I get it. But, when I see two big bowling balls that just are taped to somebody's chest, it's not a turn on for me. Sorry, it's not, but, that's me. Agent Priest sends in a super chat and says, "Boob talk with Dave McRae." That's next Thursday.
Dave McRae.
Agent Priest says, good, super chat. Good afternoon, Dave. Afternoon where you are. It must be. The man, bro, Tony, the man. Good afternoon, Dave, the man, bro, Tony, the man. I guess we're both bros and both men, both mans, the men. We are the men. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you supporting the channel like that. Machete Slasher says, any tips on releasing trailers and teasers for a no-budget short film? I also want to release it early because it's based on the COVID stuff going on. Any tips on releasing trailers and teasers? Well,
just get it out there so people know it. It's coming.
Yeah. I mean, your teaser is supposed to tease, so less is always more in a teaser. You want to leave people hanging, and you want them to, you want them to want more. A trailer is you show them more than you showed in the teaser, but you don't want to show them everything. So,
AK Channel TV. Ooh, nice $5 super chat. Thanks, buddy. Who had more impressive feats of strength in the OG movies, Jason or Michael? Only when Jason was human, as otherwise it's just too unrealistic. You actually just took the words out of my mouth, because you have to break it up by, well, which version of Michael are we talking about? Because 1 through 4, he's sort of human. I mean, he survives. I mean, not saying you can't survive a fire. People have survived fire. So, but by the time you get to 5 and 6, he becomes more the supernatural Michael Myers. I've always said this: the Nick Castle version of Michael Myers to me is 1 and 2. And that matches up very well with Sackhead Jason if they were to go at it toe to toe. That's a fair fight. Both of them are going to fight dirty probably, and it's a clean fight. When you start getting into 3, 4, 6, 7, and all that, you're probably going to need more of the Thorn Michael Myers part 6, because that's going to be an even matchup, because they're both more or less they're supernatural. They're no longer human. So I think that's how you would have to match them up if we're talking the fantasy world of who was stronger or how you match them up evenly, because you can't put Sackhead Jason against like Thorn Michael Myers. It's that, you know what I mean? Does that make sense, Dave?
Yep. Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah, for sure. I mean, George P. Wilbur in H6 would just murder Sackhead Jason.
Hands down,
It'd be ridiculous. But then again, Sackhead Jason would be more even with somebody like, Dick Warlock or Nick Castle.
Nick Castle,
like
exactly.
Yeah.
And they're pretty much close in height. Dash and Gillette, or Castle and
that's right.
Warlock. They're very close. Sure. I think they're all like in that. Warlock, I think, is the shortest. He's the shortest of them.
5'9".
I think. Yeah, he's 5'9", and Castle's 5'10", my height. And then you've got, I think Dash is about 6 foot, around 6 foot, from what I read online. And then Gillette, I think, is in that 6'1", 6'2" range-ish. Okay. I could be wrong. I haven't looked at his stats in a minute. But they're all, they're close. If I'm wrong on Gillette, and maybe he's 5'10", I just knew that the original guys were pretty close in height with each other. Right. And that's what I always liked about Sackhead Jason over Hockey Mask Jason. And same thing with Nick Castle, over whether it's Wilbur or Stanks is his name, whatever, from part 5.
Don Shanks.
When you get to the big guys, it's not hard to sell a big guy scary. It's really fucking hard when you got Nick Castle, 5'10", and probably weighing $125 in the original Halloween, and make that scary. That is a lot harder to do.
It is. It is. Oh, then we discover here that
the underground tunnels and layers and shit.
The
Crystal Lake.
And I believe this is the first time that we're seeing that his sister is actually alive.
Yeah. Well, because Jason makes the connection because she looks like Mama.
Right. I forgot about that. Well, at least she's not dead. She looks pretty good she's fed well. What has she been eating? What has she been eating? Because it said 6 weeks.
Who knows what Jason's been feeding her?
I'm just saying his dick. No, anyway,
Dave, you've become me over the last, these would be my comments now.
It's always been in me. I've just, been reserved. I'm hosting the show.
There you go.
But it said like
Dave's gone
after
full
he had,
Howard Stern, folks. OG Howard Stern.
but you see, after he attack, or what looked like we were about, he's about to attack her, and then we smash cut to black. We showed the SUV at the beginning of the movie. It says 6 weeks later. Well, 6 weeks. I mean, that's a month and a half.
No water, food. What the fuck?
What the hell is she would, and she looks pretty damn good.
Healthy.
She's
not skinny.
No, she looks like essentially like she literally looks like this attack on her happened 2 days ago.
3 hours ago.
3 hours ago, even. It could be even that. That's true too. True too. Maybe she's been eating.
Super chats come in, by the way.
Yep, I saw them there. Maybe she's been eating. I don't know, slop, or I don't know what the hell she's been eating. They
Baby
should show
Ruth.
like, they should show like bits and stuff and just weird shit. And how's she been going to the bathroom chained up like that? She looks amazing. I mean, just sitting there. Intel Wild says, Tony, you gotta step your booty game comments up because Dave's killing it with his boob comments game. No, but I'm not commenting on the boobs. I'm commenting on the fact that
we're gonna get some booty here soon. Not from her, but
it's just I wasn't like, oh, look at those boobs. Yeah, boobs. No, I just was saying that I'm not a big fan of bowling ball boobs. I call them bowling ball boobs is what I call them. I just don't think, ladies, just don't augment yourself. Just be happy for who you are.
There
you go. Ramon Ince, I-N-C-E, Ramon Ince.
Sorry, dude, I can't pronounce it either.
Hey, fellas, big love from across the pond. Question for Tony. Have you ever read On Set with John Carpenter by Kim Gottlieb Walker? You'd love it.
Me and Dave were talking. I have her book with all the behind the scenes of all the films she worked on with Carpenter. Absolutely. I love that book.
I want to get that book.
Got it right over there.
I met Kim.
It's just out of my reach.
Yeah, I met Kim at the 40th convention, and I was going to pick up a book, but she didn't have any left. See, if she knew that the reason why she's being kept alive is because she looks like Pamela, then she should be pulling a Amy Steele here and going, Jason, Mama
sort of
very...
does-ish.
Oh, you're right. The way he looks up at her, like, yeah. Ooh, and then she's like, "Oh, wait a minute, maybe I have
Agent
more control
Priest,
than I think."
$2 super chat. You guys are both the best always, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate that very much. Nick sends in a super chat, says, speaking of big killers, imagine back in the day if David Fincher had a big interest for John Wayne Gacy. He'd film it with John Candy as Gacy.
Ooh. I don't know if Candy would have done it, though. Do you think Candy could go dark like Williams?
I have no doubt in my mind that Candy would have gone dark. Right. Because maybe now, not now because he'd be in his 60s,
he'd be too, yeah.
But maybe 15 years ago, maybe Candy would have done it because Candy had been there, done that with all the nice family films and, John Candy, he's the lovable
Uncle
guy.
Buck.
Right. And he's been there, done that. And maybe this would have been an opportunity for him to step out of the comfort zone as an actor and really test himself. There's no doubt in my mind that he could have done it. And not saying that he would have done it. His agents and his managers may have advised against him because of the image thing. So that does factor in.
And considering what John Wayne Gacy did.
Right. So I'm just saying that does always play into those types of decisions when you're, looking at that. But I will say that there's no doubt that he could have gone there. And because he's the lovable guy, he can present that, build that. The audience already has a trust with just John Candy. Right. So seeing Candy in that role, you're already trusting him, seeing him there, playing that. So there's the dichotomy between the two, the two personalities would have been fascinating to see unfold. That would have been really interesting. Really, really interesting. It's a family heirloom. Shut up, fucker. This guy needs a punch in the head. How does this guy... No, don't tell me. I was really like, how does this guy die again? But I totally forget, so...
Screaming like a little bitch.
No, that's good. That's the way to do it. If you're going to scream like a little bitch, it's always a way to scream. They don't call me the Wood Wizard because I masturbate a lot.
Yep. Back when you could say shit like that, now you couldn't.
Because I masturbate a lot?
Just
maybe.
Jokes, stupid jokes like that.
Oh,
That's what I
yeah,
mean. Stupid jokes like that. It's going to be interesting to see what new Hollywood screenwriting is going to be like in the future with movies and dialogue.
Do you mean... Oh, moving my light around. Do you mean people would get very...
I'm offended. I'm offended.
Yeah. I'm just saying, it's going to be interesting to see what movies are like now.
It will.
It's an interesting time.
Yeah, you're right. Now, I remember the very first time I watched this movie, this scene stood out to me because I do like the way that he hits the light and the light kind of comes on and Jason is standing behind him.
It's a well-lit scene, yeah. Very well lit.
It's just the way that he's presented. He looks menacing. He looks big, menacing, and like clearly way stronger than this little guy here. You know what I mean? And so that always stood out to me the first time I watched this. I was like, oh, I really like, he just looks like, you know, there he is in the match, just sitting in the corner. You're like, fuck, well, that's it. He's gone. Southpaw 82 sends in super chat, says, hey Dave, you think your reaction to watching Rob Zombie's Halloween can surpass your H5 and Resurrection reactions? Those two are classics. Possibly. We'll eventually find out because Tony and I will definitely do it.
Yeah, we're going to watch the Rob Zombie Halloweens.
Yeah.
Her tits are stupendous. He is a douche.
He is a goddamn douche. He is an absolute douche.
Only a douchebag would say that. Your
It's
tits
true.
are stupendous.
Is that what he said?
I couldn't even say that with a straight face.
That's what he said? Your tits are stupendous?
If he's at conventions, which I'm sure he is, I'm guaranteeing you that's what probably people ask him to sign. Your tits are stupendous. Because that has got to be the dumbest line I have ever heard in a horror movie, and there's a lot of dumb lines.
He's like one of those like frat boy, you know, people who just don't know how to talk to women. He just says dumb shit. Seriously, he's gonna masturbate to that? Really? I would at least go.
What is it? The Lane Bryant catalog or whatever?
Well, I mean, at least try to find the lingerie section or something. You know, I mean, she's fully clothed unless he's into that. What is he? Wait a minute. Oh, okay. I thought for a minute he was going to masturbate to the deer head or the moose head. Does she walk in on her? She's got to.
Well, sort of doesn't walk in, but obviously hears him.
Right. What a douche. What an absolute douche. Your tits are stupendous. I'm trying to picture Tony saying that.
Dude, there's no way I could say that shit.
Your tits are stupendous, man.
Yeah, no.
Fascinating about your tits on myself. So juicy, dude. This better not go on the fucking internet. What is this, 1998? Why?
Yeah.
Wouldn't she... What...
Ignore him.
Wow. So she's not, well, I guess.
Yeah, this was one part of the movie I was just like, all right.
I was kind of like, wouldn't
this
you
is
be
too
like
fucking 90210? Could we cut this scene?
But I'm just kind of like, you do know what he's doing in there, right? Like,
Yeah.
she's not that stupid. I mean, obviously but she doesn't give a fuck about it.
Well, no,
She doesn't
because when you
care
got
about
a freaking psychomaniac on the loose trying to kill you.
Well, and at no point
your
in
boyfriend
time,
cheating on you is the last of your worries.
That's true. And at no point in time in this entire movie did they ever establish that their relationship was good anyway. It's not like we saw them being affectionate with each other. So, you know, what did he say? He said, your tits are so juicy, dude.
Well, yeah, he followed it up with after your tits are stupendous to your tits are juicy, dude.
I'm just trying to picture Tony, you saying that.
Saying your tits are juicy, dude.
No. Listen, Tony, the next time you're with a woman, I'm telling you right now that if you're gonna,
I can't. I'm laughing now, man. Just trying to even think about saying it.
You're gonna think of me, and that's gonna be funny.
No, that's not gonna be funny. Dave, you just went to a very deep, dark place, bro.
Oh, that'd be so fun. Hey, there it is. There's the shot of Jason behind. Are you looking for this?
It completes your outfit.
Oh, we know what's gonna happen here. You know what I don't find in this movie? And again, I know it's a Friday the 13th movie. I understand that. I'm not saying that it's got to be like Black Christmas or the original Halloween or something. I'm not saying that. I understand it's Friday the 13th. But I don't know, maybe it's because I'm older. You know what I mean? That's a great kill. I understand that's going to please a lot of the, the blood people, and it's going through the neck and the blood spurting everywhere, and that's great stuff, and it's great. It's great. But again, maybe it's just this, I'm getting older and I'm not a kid anymore, but I find I need more from my horror movies now. And I think I need
more story, you mean?
Well, I need a little suspense. I need a little build up, and not that there wasn't any suspense there, not that it was void of it, but I just find that, maybe and again, I think maybe with age, you get a little older, you're like, yeah, I've seen this 8 trillion times. I need to, I need a little more. Wonder when he's going to say the stupendous thing again. No, he's not saying it. I thought she was going to say that. I thought she was going to say stupendous. Stupendous. Hey, Google. I mean, I know what it is, but I want to hear what she says. What's the definition of stupendous?
Here's the definition of stupendous. Extremely impressive.
Extremely impressive. There you go. Somehow stupendous sounds better than your tits are extremely impressive. This is like Rachel coming in on like Brady and what's her face? All this blonde chick needs is a shirt that says "Cops do it by the book."
I do like this kill coming up with the axe, and he just throws it.
Yeah. Doesn't what's her face die? The Leah Remini's daughter. It's not really Leah Remini's daughter.
I think so.
Doesn't she die? That's too bad.
She gets close to the end.
Yeah,
it's a fake final girl. She doesn't become the final girl. It ends up being his sister.
Actually, well, there really is no final girl. I mean, there is.
No,
but
there in this one, there really
is the final guy.
Yeah, it's more the final guy because there is no true final girl in the sense of what we know from the 80s.
Right. I mean, we do know that obviously his sister does overcome and escape, but she escapes with the help of him.
Help of the brother and the girl.
Right. So I think there really isn't a final girl in this movie, per se, So, there's some suspense here, and I like that kind of thing. But it's not, I mean, it's what I call like sort of just surface level suspense, it's kind of what you expect. But let me see, any super chats? Did I miss any super chats, everybody? Oh, let's see here. Kevin Bacon's Boner sent in a $5 super chat. It's amazing that Kevin Bacon's Boner has a bank account. Saw Frank clipping Blum's toenails the other day and overheard them talking about drawing breasts on Frank's ass for the boob scenes in H Kills. Amazing. Well, Frank is really close with Jason Blum, folks. He is really close with Jason Blum.
Frank has seen the trailer. Frank has assured us that it will be the most epic trailer of all time.
That's it.
There will be no other greater trailer than Halloween Kills. Even Halloween Ends won't be as good as Halloween Kills.
There you go. There you go. It'll be the most epic trailer in the history of motion pictures. You think
it's going to get delayed?
The movie?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It all depends on what Tenet and Mulan and what the theater going experience is like throughout the month of July. It will depend. I think we will know by the middle. I said this before. We will know by the middle of August, the latest, I believe, the latest by the middle of August, if the movie will be delayed. But
I have a feeling it's going to be.
Maybe.
I just think we're going to get hit with a big second wave here of coronavirus cases, and just
it's possible.
Is what it is.
Ooh, yeah. Come on, Jason. Oh, he's fighting back. That's it, buddy. You see?
Yeah,
he fought back. He's about to go down in a fucking, but at least
I love this. One hand just says, fuck you, bitch.
Yep. This is great. Can you imagine having this kind of accuracy? There's no way that this would ever work.
Hey, man, when you're out in the woods by yourself and you ain't got shit to do, you're just throwing axes left and right every day.
That's true.
Getting that accuracy down.
That's true. It's a hell of a shot. What a douche this guy is. He's just the typical douche. Ooh, we can hear the blood.
The other thing too is that they can't sit on it either for too long. Do you think they'll pull a straight to rental? Because that would do okay, a straight to rental.
No, I don't think so. I mean, maybe, anything's possible. If Halloween Kills gets delayed, I think it'll just be pushed. Now, whether that means pushed to next Halloween, I don't know. But you have to factor in too that they haven't even. I mean, they have to shoot Halloween Ends as well.
Yeah.
So, and there is always promotional things that the actors have to do as part of the marketing for Halloween Kills, which, obviously, Anyway, it's a. I don't know. Well, I've talked about this on the show before, but I think people need to understand that the Halloween Kills trailer, everything
kind of like
that
a Michael Myers move there, just standing on the roof looking down.
It was when it was, but it was
like, damn, they went Michael Myers with that move.
It was, but it was a cool shot.
It was,
and he looked menacing and impressive there, holding the machete, like that shot there. That'd be a great photograph.
It would.
You should do it.
I should. I think I will.
You could totally.
With Michael.
That's easy
I wouldn't do it with Jason. I do it with Michael.
Do it with Michael. Yes.
Yeah, I do a shot
Dude,
like that with Michael.
Backlight him. Fucking do that shit.
Well, I'm gonna do a rooftop with Jamie and Rachel. So
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. But yeah, no. Look, everything that's gone on with the Halloween Kills trailer, lack thereof, doesn't surprise me in the slightest. And
Blum's in a predicament with it, because if they drop it, then there's the expectation of releasing it. You know what I mean?
Well, and it's not up to Blum; it's up to Universal, because they're the distributor.
Right? I get that.
Yeah. So it's just that, I tell people all the time that if you want to really know what's going on, you got to learn about the business of Hollywood. And when you learn about the business side of show business and how marketing works, and you dive into that, and it takes effort, right? Because it's not necessarily exciting material. But if you learn about that, you can make educated and informed opinions and hopefully be more right than you are wrong. But I see so many people making arbitrary sort of like, it's coming here, it's coming there. And it's just, it doesn't, there's a lot of things that a lot of people have said that I just kind of shake my head at and say, that's just not going to happen. And it doesn't, you know? And so I just think it's important that if you want to know when Halloween's going to be released, if Kills is going to be released, look away from Halloween Kills and start looking at the business side of the industry and what's happening. What's happening in the industry, what's happening in the business side of things, and educate yourself that way. And it will allow you to be able to make those predictions a little easier because you understand. Like when Blum said soon, like, 3 months ago. Do you remember that? I did a whole thing on it. And I said, it's not.
Remember?
I did a video on it where I said, look, here's what, it ain't coming soon. I said, I mean, it could, of course, there's always that chance, but this is what they say under these circumstances and this, and that, and this. Dave, you're wrong. It's coming this Friday. And of course it didn't. And then of course they had that tweet-a-thon, that watch along, with the original film. And people were like, why would they do this if it's not coming, Dave? And I said, well, this is why. And I laid it all out and I said, it's not going to happen. And sure enough, it didn't. And I don't say that in a braggadocious way. I say that because
braggadocious.
Right. I say that because I think it's important, and it doesn't mean I'm right all the time. I'm not. But it's so important that you learn about the business of Hollywood, because then you can understand the rhetoric and you can understand what it means when somebody says this, that, and the other. And even though it sounds like it means this, it doesn't usually. And the theaters are closed. There's a lot of factors. So, there's been nothing that has not happened with Halloween Kills that has been surprising to me. Nothing. Aren't you surprised we don't have a poster? No, not at all. Not surprised at all. What a fucking idiot. He's shooting a mannequin, isn't he? Isn't he shooting a mannequin or something like that? Did he just shoot?
Well, he shot a dead girl, but yeah, this is he takes his douchebag level up like
Jesus. So he just shot the woman that he was fucking.
Yeah.
Essentially. Oh, she was already dead anyway, but he doesn't know that.
No, but he's just watch what he says. But he thinks he killed Bree.
Right.
Because he sees that he thinks he shot her. But then he's going to blame it on the killer. Douchebag.
I guess she's not so stupendous anymore. He goes in there for one last feel. That would have made him the most ultimate douchebag right there, is to go in and just cup that one last feel. Wouldn't Wouldn't Tony? Wouldn't that though? Like, he looks around, he's like, oh man, that would be brutal. If he wasn't a douche, if you didn't think he was a douche yet.
See, he's screaming like a little bitch.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He's probably got the best scream in this whole movie, to be honest with you.
Right. And he's just running. He just takes off like a little bitch, because that's what of course, that's what you need him to do, right?
Yeah.
Machete Slasher says, how often should I release trailers? I want to release 2 trailers and 1 short teaser. Well, that all depends on how long your movie is, right? If your movie's, let's say, 10 minutes long, you don't want to release too many trailers because you'll inevitably end up showing the whole movie. But if your movie is, say, half an hour long, again, there's no rule here. But, I would say, if I was you, I would release a teaser to get people excited, and then I would release a trailer, and I would leave it at that. But again, if your movie's an hour and a half long, well, then you have more material that you can show without giving everything away. But if your movie is only 20 minutes or 10 minutes, you have to be careful with what you show in a trailer, because you could end up giving the whole thing away because there's not a lot of material. So just keep that in mind. But I'd go teaser first, and then you release a trailer.
Super chat miss from Frank Riker, $5. So my ass and double D's.
What's going on?
Frank super chat.
Frank sent it a super chat here. Where did I can't believe I missed that. Oh, there he is. So my Frank. Oh, we love you, Frank. Why was this guy going like this? Who is that? Oh, okay. It's almost like the way he did that, though.
Looks like the dude from Chainsaw Massacre.
He does, but the way he did that, the way he went like this with his hand, almost looked like he was trying to lead him into, like, it looked nefarious almost, like almost like it's sort of, go ahead, come on, because it's so slow, and it wasn't just like this. You know what I mean? It looked calculated and evil, and I guess it was probably supposed to be. I guess that's what they wanted you to think. But timestamp here, we are 1 hour, 18 minutes, 35 seconds into the movie. About another 20 minutes left to go.
And what makes this movie feel long is that long opening. If that movie, I think it shortens the movie up, making it more fluid. If that hard opening wasn't so long.
Yeah, it would have been interesting. I wonder what this movie would have been like if there was no opening like that, and it begins with him searching for his lost sister, and they build the suspense that way. Is she or is she not alive? And maybe you get to this point in the movie and you still don't know.
I like that idea. Maybe now you see the reveal, like where she pops up.
Right, something like that. And you're like, oh, is that
hears
her?
It.
I guess that's her. And it's like, oh my God.
I like that. That would be cool.
Because then you could spend the first 20 minutes of the movie building the story with the locals and things like that, about how people go missing and she ain't missing, she dead, but you can build on that a bit more and sort of take your time with this main cast here, and there's always that lingering question throughout this movie: is she or isn't she? Might be interesting, rather than knowing that or seeing her at the beginning. I think that might have been cool.
I actually got this as part of when I purchased Friday the 13th, the 1980s digital. When I started converting over to digital, this came with it as a double bundle. Right.
Thank you, Frank, by the way, for attending to the troll that came in. I've removed him from the room. Appreciate that, Frank.
I was hidden by Dave McRae. What?
Says that. Yeah, it says that. Yeah. Tony Michael was hidden by Dave McRae. No, that's just the
spammer chatters.
Just the trolls that love attention.
I have nothing to do.
Hey, you got a couple of super chats here, Robert.
Oh yeah, they did. I think it's
J Reed.
Maybe
J Reed Mem 77.
Maybe it is J Reed Mem 77. I keep saying Dreed Mem 77, but maybe it is J Reed 77. I don't know. Robert Thidoff says, any chance Halloween Ends goes full animation cartoon like if COVID-19 goes on and on with delays in production? Full Halloween Ends goes full animation cartoon like?
Animated movie, no.
Animated movie, you mean? No, not at all. Not at all. No way. And DreedMem77 says, Dave, Tony, I know you're not a fan of crossovers, but would you bet on Derek Mears or Joe Pesci from Goodfellas?
Joe Pesci from Goodfellas.
Oh, yeah.
He was ruthless. He was ruthless. Man. I think Pesci would find a way to get it done.
You think I'm a clown? You think I amuse you?
Think that was funny?
You think it's funny? You think I amuse you? What, like a clown? Like a clown?
Yeah, he was great. I was kind of sad to see this girl go. Because I'm not emotionally attached to his sister. Do you know what I mean? At this moment, I care more about the other girl than I do her, although I'm glad that
right.
I'm glad that he was able to, and maybe that works, right? You kill her, it's like, oh no, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it works that way, because that's always,
it's true.
That's always good too, of course. Did he fucking build? Is this a sewer, or did he spend years building this lair?
Underground tunnels and shit.
Yeah, this fucking
I mean, well, look,
Ninja
if you're
Turtle shit
there for years, you got nothing better to do. What the fuck?
That's true,
right?
but who knew? Who knew he was? Dude, I could never build something that looked like this. The dude's fucking handy.
He's a handy motherfucker.
He's a handy dude, man.
Building those traps all around. Maybe that's like what the old woman said. People don't know where to walk. If you know where to walk, you'll be safe. If you don't, you'll be dead.
That's true. That's
the woman earlier in the movie.
That's right. She ain't missing. She did. And maybe, but you're right. There really is no final girl.
No.
Not
I said that, but you said you agreed,
and I said, yeah. Oh, no way.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was
that's
bummed.
unfortunate.
At this part, I will say, I was like, damn.
Yeah, but that effect that it has on the audience is good.
It's good. That's you want to feel that. You want
That's
to
right.
feel that sympathy
right.
because you want her to live, and you're like, fuck.
That's
so I
right.
like that they pulled the trigger on that and killed her. It sucks, but I like that they did it.
That's right. Right. Have there been any like in this movie?
Not much.
Not much.
That was the other thing this movie lacked was a lot of that.
It's too bad because that's like, especially from the original or the first couple of Friday the 13th.
Especially the first couple.
It's really good.
Yeah,
really good. By the later sequels, like by Jason Goes to Manhattan, and it's weird. It's like
it's so like I don't know what they're trying to get fancy with the sound
bleeds
design.
in
It's
with
like,
shit. And,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, but the first couple of Friday the 13th movies, it's just on point. Yes, kill him. Oh, that was his head, I think, smashing against. Oh, yeah. Does he die? Don't tell me. I can't remember. Can't remember if he dies or not. Can't fucking remember. Chat room, don't say anything. Don't be a dick. That's okay. I just won't look at the chat room until I know for sure.
Gary Rangel, who's y'all's favorite incarnation of Jason? Mine is Sackhead. I think yours is part 4, right, Dave?
I like 3 and 4. Yeah, I like 3 and 4.
Which are pretty much the same.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you know, yeah. I will say this, though, and I know a lot of people say this, but I will say this, that Derek Mears is, I do like him as Jason. I think he's a good hulking Jason, you know, and I do like, I like him as this character for sure. I think he's a good.
No complaints.
I don't have any complaints with him as Jason Voorhees. She's fighting back. This is where that final girl,
you know,
it's a final girl moment. It's a final girl moment.
Definitely.
But she's not out of there because of her own intellect and skill. Right. She's, you know, it may have served the character better if she had done that, but nonetheless. Look at all that fake rain.
JK rants and reviews. Think about this. All this could have been avoided had no one tried to steal Jason's weed. Very true. Don't fuck with the man's weed.
Don't fuck with the man's weed, ladies and gentlemen.
That's all
he's alive.
He wants to live out on the campgrounds, abandoned, smoking his weed. Leave him the fuck alone. Nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with that at all. That's the way you got to do it, man.
Exactly. Well, that's the way that's the way I'm probably gonna end up doing it here very soon if shit don't mellow the fuck out.
I think they should just put weed in everything.
That's water. What I said. I think if they put
weed in the water so that when you're Yes, put weed in the water so that when you're showering, just showering in weed.
That's it.
You're brushing your teeth with weed, you know? You're just in a perpetual state of being high.
And happy and chilled.
With how many times...
and you can debate with each other and not fight because you're just chilling. You're getting into the obnoxious debates while eating your bag of Cheetos.
That's it. That's what I'm talking about, man.
There's my weapon.
Oh, yeah, that's good. I like that. I remember seeing that at the end of the trailer. Yeah, I remember that.
I've used that weapon for Jason. I've used it for Michael. Right. I like it.
Yeah.
It's a good weapon. I might even try to use it for Ghostface and see, but Ghostface without his classic knife is really tough to do.
Right.
I've tried a few photos with the Myers knife. I've tried a Ghostface picture with a machete, and I was just like, no, this looks bad.
Yeah. Of course, if you want anybody going up against this guy, you'd want your brother. He's big.
Absolutely.
You know, he's 6'3".
2 inches in height difference, but let's just say Derek has got about 50 pounds of muscle on him compared to Jared.
Actually, yes, exactly. But, you know, I forget what happens.
Yeah, I guess you could say, you know what, dude? Jared definitely is a final guy. He's one of the few final guys that you can say,
sure.
but he's definitely.
I think so.
He qualifies definitely in the final guy category for sure. When
Yeah,
you watch his character develop up to this point, yeah, totally the final guy.
Yep.
by the definition of what we have called final girls.
Right. I can see that. Oh, she's doing it. She's pulling the Amy Steele here.
Yeah, now this is the callback.
I love how he just like tosses him to the side.
The sort of callback to Friday.
Right.
And I like that. I was smiling at this point. I got what they were doing. They weren't totally ripping off Friday 2, but I was like, I like the wink, and this is how you effectively do a wink and a nod to a movie, unlike what they did with the 2018 Halloween by just ripping it off.
Right.
They give you the feel of like, oh, okay, I know what you're doing, but you're not ripping it off. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. You're distracting him. Fuck yeah! A lot of grunts.
This is a callback too. This happened in part
3.
Part three, right?
Yeah, in the barn.
Yeah, in the barn. That's right.
I think it was the barn. Yeah.
Totally. So you kind of got a hybrid going on here. You got a little bit of part 2, part 3.
Yeah. If he got an axe in the mask, it'd be part 4. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, it's the color grade on a lot of Platinum Dunes movies. They have the same color grade.
Well, when Chainsaw did it, everybody started to do it.
Yeah, and I just
except for Rob Zombie, because he does his own shit.
Well, yeah, and that's not Platinum Dunes either.
I correct me if I'm wrong, because I only watched it once and I'll never watch it again. Well, unless we do it on here. But didn't the new Nightmare on Elm Street do something similar to this stylistic approach too? As far as tone, color tone, and whatnot.
I can't remember. I haven't seen it in years.
I saw it the one time in theaters, and that was it.
Same.
And I so like my memory's like totally dead on that film.
Yep. Oh, there's this one eye. Doesn't he come out of the lake here?
And my question is why would you need to take him from the barn out to the dock? And then why would you not have already kicked him in there? You know what I mean? Like, I understand they're trying to set up a shot. I get it, but there was really no need. You could have just walked out of the barn and left it. And she could have just thrown the damn thing in the lake. You know
I'm going to be honest with you. I would have just, as soon as he was rendered unconscious there.
That's it. Why do you need to move him?
I would have just left the barn and gone and left. Anybody would have. Of course, they have to set it. Cinematically, I understand that this works better.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. From a Hollywood storytelling point of view,
right.
Yeah, I'm sure some producer was like, "We need one more scene."
Right.
That's how it is. Producers.
Yeah. Yeah. That's Crystal Lake there, eh? Well, that's doesn't his mask is on. He put on his mask? Was it a dream?
Seems like it was alluded to that. It was a dream. Is there an end credit scene? Not that I remember.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Yeah, I mean that's
possibly that's that like Friday one, callback.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, you knew there was going to be something like that, like that. But it's like he has his mask on, so I think it would have been more effective without his mask. If he had come through the dock and didn't have his...
like when did he wake up in the water? I'm like, hold on, got a mask up.
Right, because his mask seemingly didn't.
Let me find my mask.
Right, the mask didn't land anywhere near where he was. So I think had he come out of the water without it and just saw the and he's just like that would have been even cooler. That would have been even cooler to see that. I think that would have been cool. But anyway, that is Friday the 13th, 2009, ladies and germs. Man, oh man, the remake, it's a fan favorite. A lot of Friday the 13th fans love it.
Friday fans like it.
There are some Friday fans that think he's the best Jason, that Derek Mears is better than Kane Hodder, better than Richard Brooker, better than Ted White, better than Steve Dash, who really believe that he's the best. I'm not saying, but I'm saying there are fans out there that think that.
I will say this, Derek Mears, I will say as far as acting performance as Jason Voorhees, I like better than Kane Hodder. And I know that's like, kicking Friday the 13th fans in the nuts by saying that. Well, first of all, I mean, that Dash and Gillette were my favorites from Friday too.
Right.
But putting my personal favorite Jason aside, I like Mears better than Kane Hodder. I'm not nothing against I think I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to remember.
It's tough.
Hodder.
It's
like
well,
I like Hodder in 7. The New Beginning was okay, but I just hate the whole Jason versus Carrie concept.
Well, see, I'm right there with you because I don't like any of the movies that Hodder is in.
That's the problem.
It's very difficult.
That's the problem.
Exactly. Yeah. It's hard for me to get past because they're garbage movies, and even by Friday the 13th standards, you know, in my opinion, of course. And so I know
like this is more enjoyable than the Hodder movies. I'm just being honest.
100%. Yeah, 100%, easily, and it's not in my opinion. Look, okay,
this meaning the 2009 Friday.
Yeah. So we watched the movie, and I'm like, it's fine. I don't hate this movie. I don't hate it, but it's not. You know, I mean,
it's not Chainsaw Massacre when it comes to the remakes of the, you know, which one. Is,
no,
you know.
But it's. I will say this. Now again, we'll have to maybe watch the remake of Elm Street. But
we can do that soon.
maybe I might enjoy. I'll reserve my final thought for after maybe we watch that. But I might enjoy this remake because I didn't like the remake of. Well, no, I didn't like the remake of Elm Street at all. So I think it's safe to say that I probably like this better than the Elm Street remake. Yeah. But I don't think I'm not head over heels about this movie. I'm just like, you know, it's fine. I mean, it is what it is, but it's got a very modern, polished Hollywood Platinum Dunes, you know, feel to it. And I don't feel really any, it's just kind of like, you know, it is what it is. You know, I'm not like, whoa, fuck, you know, feeling that mood and that No, it's just, you know, it is what it is, you know.
Yeah, when you talk about the core 4 here of the slasher genre films that have been remade, believe me, I know there's been a ton of horror movies that have been remade, but when I'm saying like the slasher, like the Michael, Jason, Freddy, Leatherface, for me, Chainsaw Massacre is the best. After that, it would be probably, I mean, it's Rob Zombie's Halloween, but it's inching Friday the 13th out by just this much, and then Friday the 13th, and then Nightmare on Elm Street.
Right.
That's how I would probably do it. What would you do?
Between what again?
Just the core 4 from the slasher remakes that have been done: the Texas Nightmare, Friday, and Halloween.
For me, the first would be Texas. Second would probably be this movie.
I had a feeling. I had a feeling you and I might be different just by these.
Yeah, probably this movie maybe, and then I have to watch the Elm Street remake again. But certainly I'm no fan of zombies. I mean, I like his Halloween better than his Halloween 2. But for me, that's like saying, do you want a shit pizza or do you want a shit sandwich? You know, it's like I'm still eating shit, whether it's this amount of shit or this little shit. It's still poo. There's still it's like there's still poo on my slice of pizza, whether I'm eating all of it or not. I'm still eating shit. So that's kind of how I see it. But certainly I'll have to watch. The remake of Elm Street again. I remember when I went to see it, I just remember walking away thinking, well, an hour and a half of Rooney Mara is not bad, but, that's about it. I just didn't really, and she was terrible because she was emo Nancy. Anyway, it was, I got to watch that movie again, but yeah, just awful stuff. But anyway, hey, what's the chat doing? Let's find out what the chat is doing. Did I miss any super chats? The Terrible Drummers send in a super chat. Did I get that one? Let me see here. Why is the Terrible Drummer so terrible? The Terrible Drummer says, sorry guys, I'm late to the party. Have I missed the perfect nipple placement line? Gotta love that dialogue. Well, I guess you did. Where was that?
Came in? I don't know. It depends on what time he came in.
But what scene is that? I don't recall ever
hearing
that. Was that the your tits are stupendous? Was that? But here's the thing. If Tony ever thinks when he's with a woman,
my head, man. Come on. You're ruining my sex life, dude.
I'm just saying. I got you. I got this.
Rhodes, not Dusty Rhodes, the wrestler. Dusty Rhodes. Did you guys know the same guy who did the cinematography for Friday the 13th remake did it for the Chainsaw remake, who also was the original cinematographer for Tobe Hooper's first Chainsaw Massacre, by the way. A little fun fact here. Nice. You guys do, for the 45th anniversary Jaws? Absolutely.
Oh, for sure. Yes.
Very much on the horizon, not to be a spoiler, but I'm pretty sure you guys knew that was coming.
Yeah, the 4th of July is not too far away, so it's definitely coming for sure. Yeah, okay. Absolutely. The girl's ass at the beginning of the shower scene says, D&T, did you hear about the death of Joel Schumacher today? I did.
Yeah, I thought about that. I was like, damn, we just watched Lost Boys a week ago. That sucks. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joel Schumacher, of course.
I didn't realize he was battling cancer either. From the article that I read, I had no clue that he was battling cancer.
No idea either. I didn't even know he was 80. I was surprised to hear that he was 80. I would have guessed that maybe he was in his 60s.
Well, I certainly thought he was in his 30s to 40s when he did Lost Boys. So, if not older, but he was older.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
that's what I mean. Yeah. So I was surprised to hear that he was 80, but yeah. The Film Addict says, do you guys have any favorite modern day comedies? Huge Bill Burr fan. Modern day comedies.
No, because they're not funny anymore because they can't do the fucking shit they used to do back in the day because they don't want to piss off people and offend anyone.
Yeah, I can't say I do. I mean, modern day comedies are strange.
It's not the same. It's not like what we grew up with like in the 80s and the 90s. It's different type of comedy. It's more present for its time, and I understand that it's just the world we live in now, but it's just different type of comedy. Yeah. Speaking of comedies, you know what's funny is I just now, and it may be because of my age, got into watching Seinfeld. Like I had never watched that show at all. And it wasn't one like when I was in the 90s when we were teenagers, I didn't care for it. I didn't watch Friends when we were teenagers in the 90s. Yeah. I did do a little bit of Frasier because I was a huge Cheers fan. So that had the connection to Cheers still with Frasier. Right. I tried a little bit with Seinfeld early on, like even in my 20s and 30s, but still couldn't get into it. Now in my 40s, I think it's Seinfeld's humor. I don't think he's the funniest guy, but he's definitely an adult, older type sarcasm humor. And certainly he could not have done that show successfully without
Larry
Michael
David.
Richards
and, for sure.
Jason Alexander and Dreyfus there, Julia Louise Dreyfus. Without those three, forget it.
100%. Well, because he's not an actor.
Part of that show. He's not funny. Them.
100%. And no, but his observational comedy, which is funny, was able to be brought into the show. Yeah, no, yes. But I'm like you. I watched a little bit of Seinfeld, but I didn't really get into Seinfeld till later. And what's funny too is it was my girlfriend that got me into Frasier. And Frasier, so for whatever reason, when I was a teenager, to be fair, it's not like Frasier is a show where its demographic was, 90s teenagers, right? I mean, it's not like it's really weird or anything. But whenever Frasier would come on, I'd hear the ba-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, on the piano at the beginning. I'd be like, click, whatever. It just seemed like a adult kind of show. And I just was like, I don't want to watch this, whatever. But about maybe 6 or 7 years ago, my girlfriend, who loves it, wanted to watch a few episodes. Like, all right, let's just put on. I fucking love that show now. Yeah. I love it. And I think, too, it's because
it's one of the best spinoffs ever.
It's one of the best sitcoms ever, period.
Yeah.
And I think being an adult, right, because at the time I was probably like 34, whatever it was, I was able to appreciate and understand the humor and understand the nuance and the just everything about the show and the brilliant writing and the characters on that show. So Frasier to this day, to this day, it's only been like 6 years, but absolutely would be one of my favorite sitcoms of all time.
Dave, it's such a great show. Like, the funny thing, and like, Cheers is my all-time favorite show.
100%. Yeah.
But my least favorite episodes, this is how good Frasier is. My least favorite episodes of Frasier's are the callbacks where they bring Ted Danson back and except for Lilith. Lilith, BB is great. That's the only one you really needed to bring back from Cheers to make an appearance once or twice, in a season, and that's it. But honestly, when they brought Ted Danson, it didn't feel like Cheers. You know what I mean?
I understand.
I get what they were doing. Like when they brought Shelley Long back, it's same thing. Like, and Woody came in for an episode, and I was like, wasn't feeling it. But no, Frasier's a great show. The cast is great. And very rarely can you say that you have a hit show and then a spin-off also be a hit show as well.
Oh yeah. Oh, it was huge. Yeah. But Friends I never got into, even to this day.
Same thing. Never... Like, there's some of the one-liner shit that's funny, like Joey's "How you doing?" and some of the Chandler shit.
Well, it's entered pop culture, but
yeah. But other than that, the same way. Like, I've seen Friends, I've watched it, but I just like. I guess if we were young adults in the 90s, we could have identified with it better because we were teenagers in the 90s.
Right.
And even now as an adult, I'm just like, didn't really care for it all that much. Like, it's okay. It's not bad. But someone asked, and I'm curious to know your answer to this. Someone asked a question this week. If you had to pick, and I want to know everyone in the chat room to answer this question as well, too. This is the fun participation one.
All right.
If you had to pick one family from television, one family that could be your TV family in the world you would want to live in to create your own world, who would it be?
Okay, but
where Golden Girls?
Oh, I love the fucking Golden Girls. I love the Golden Girls. I am an unabashed fan of the Golden Girls.
Well, like, for me,
that show is fantastic. The writing was brilliant. The characters were amazing. The Golden Girls is a fucking hilarious show.
Absolutely. Yeah. For me, would be the Taylors from Home Improvement. I totally would want to have the cool dad like Tim Taylor, who could make me my Chevy Nova. You know what I mean? That would be like a father-son project. So I'd have my dream car. And I loved their chemistry. Patricia Richardson and Tim Allen's chemistry as Jill and Tim on Home Improvement. And you have the cool ass neighbor Wilson.
That's right.
Who knows everything. That would be my TV family that I would want to live in. Who would be yours?
So I guess I'm approaching this as I'm a kid,
this is just your pretend world, your TV family. Who would be your ideal TV family?
My ideal TV family. I think maybe if you asked me when I was a kid, I probably would have said Elf because of Elf, not because of Willie or Kate or Brian or Lynn, but because of Elf. I was so in love with this furry little alien elf that was all that I loved his sense of humor. And a lot of the lines that I used to say as a kid, I got from him. But other than Elf, I would say, man, that is a tough one. I mean,
it's tough because there's so many good like TV some people in here said Boy Meets World. That was that's a great TV family.
That's a great TV family.
The 80s. Look, before we knew the Cosbys in the 80s.
For sure.
They were
we can separate
America's TV's family.
I can separate art from the shit.
Growing Pains, right?
Growing Pains, that's right. Yeah.
The Keatons, obviously.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I was going to say that maybe
that's
Family
your family?
Ties. Maybe.
Family Ties, the Keatons.
Family Ties.
Fresh Prince, that's another good TV family too.
The Bundys.
The Bundys. Oh, that would be fun.
Now, see, now people are just throwing out family names now. That's what people are doing. That's a good question though. That's pretty good. Let's see here. I don't think that was PC Pierce sends a super chat and says, how about Pamela Voorhees' backstory movie where she's actually the one who drowned Jason in the lake, but seeks revenge on the counselors anyway? Ooh, I like a Pamela Voorhees backstory.
I like the Pamela Voorhees backstory. That's an interesting twist.
It's an interesting twist. I don't know how well that would settle with fans, but it's certainly something that I would entertain if it came across my desk. Nick sends in a super chat, says, hey Dave, have you or your dad ever seen the hilarious and Canadian Phil Hartman? Of course. What do you think? We live in the States.
The Saturday Night Live Phil Hartman?
Yes, Phil Hartman.
Yeah, okay.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Phil Hartman, funny as shock jock in the 90s sitcom News Radio. Yes, definitely. I don't know if my dad did, but I certainly do remember him from that for sure. Yeah, that was sad when he, that was a suicide there with his wife. Yeah, that was too bad. The Film Addict sends a super chat, says, "Oh crap, I meant modern day comedies like stand up, not comedy shows. My bad for the confusion." Oh, stand up?
Oh, even same thing. It's even worse today.
Comedians? Yeah, it's hard.
I honestly, when I watch stand up, I watch old Eddie Murphy Raw. That's one of my favorites to go to.
Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor's
Carlin.
shit. Carlin, fucking forget it.
Yeah.
Like those guys from back in the day and even in the 80s. Who else did I watch and listen to on vinyl? Because I have some on vinyl as well too. Carlin, I have Carlin's on vinyl, Pryor and Eddie Murphy. Yeah. Sandler was okay early on. Sandler, the shtick got old for me pretty quickly, but some of his early stuff was decent. Rogan, he's okay. Rogan is even okay today. He doesn't buy into the PC culture stuff. So, he's still Joe Rogan. Early back in the day, obviously, because, being a country boy, Ron White, fucking Larry the Cable Guy, Foxworthy, fucking, what's his name there? The other guy, the fourth one. I always forget him. Ron White, Cable Guy, Jeff Foxworthy. I always forget that dude's name.
I can't remember, but the chat room might.
Yeah, the fourth guy there. Like those guys were good. Chappelle back in the day, the original Kings of Comedy, man, back in the day were funny as shit. Because you just got to remember, man, comedy now is just so fucking different. Bill Engvall. Yes, thank you. I knew you guys would help me out on that. Ron White's funny as hell. They call me Tater Salad. Damn, that's one of my favorite comedy shows next to like Eddie Murphy's Raw and the old Richard Pryor shit.
Yes. Yeah. Old is
Chris Rock. I'm sorry, Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker is funny as shit. Chris Tucker, when he gets into his MJ fucking impersonation. Oh,
he's funny.
He's funny. Got me dying.
Oh yeah, he's funny. The Film Addict said, oh no, I already read that. Sweet Tea, hello, Sweet Tea, sends in a super chat just for the channel, my friends. Thank you very much, Sweet Tea. Really appreciate that. Let me see. Frank Riker sends in a super chat, says, DT, I was plowing Blum's fields. And he told me about the flashback in Halloween Kills. Apparently, Loomis and Michael reenact the pottery scene from Ghost.
But the question really is, Frank.
Loomis is in the back.
Frank, were you out there plowing the fields with your TV family, the Ingalls?
There we go. Oh. There you go.
Little Michael Landon shout out.
That's right. I'm just trying to picture like.
That was actually a good show. Did you ever watch? We watched that a lot growing up as kids. Little House on the Prairie. My mom was huge into that shit. The Laura Ingalls books and shit. Yeah.
Whenever I think of Little House on the Prairie, the first thing that pops into my head is just the little girl falling down the hill. Yeah. That's what totally just pops into my head. I didn't. I was not a big fan of that.
My mom and my sister
not
really
a fan.
We're into it, and we obviously as a family we watched it and whatnot. And then of course Airwolf. I got the complete DVD collection of Airwolf up there now. Fucking love that show. I still want an Airwolf Night Rider cinematic universe. I think fans would love it. I really do. Done today. No CGI. Make it practical. Rebuild Airwolf like it was, like we saw back in the 80s. And Night Rider, same thing. No CGI shit. I think you could have a dope cinematic universe, and I think people would love it.
I think so. I think you might be right. You may be right.
Except the Germans, because they want the Hoff as Michael Knight.
That's true.
They love him, man.
Colin Murdy says, Lenny Bruce was such an influence on the likes of Bill Hicks and George Carlin. Love all three of them. Legends.
Yeah, he was. He was. Yeah.
Yep.
And someone said Dan Cook. Superfinger.
Dan Cook.
Superfinger. Sufi. I liked Dane Cook in the Superfinger, the Sufi tour. I can't remember the Vicious Circle. That tour, his stand-up on that was really good. Then afterwards, not so much. But his Vicious Circle tour was funny as shit.
Gotcha. Let's see. What's going on? We'll go for a few more minutes here. Let's take this thing to 9:30. Another 10 minutes.
There you go.
Let's do that. Another 10
Yeah,
minutes.
because we started a little bit late tonight.
We did. So we'll go to 930. Michael Myers says, Dave and Tony, what are your thoughts on the fact that we know more about space than we do our own oceans? And what do you think we will discover in the depths of the oceans? Well, I'm not a marine biologist, nor am I a nuclear physicist or NASA astronaut or quantum.
Nor am I
physicist.
too stoned to answer this question right now.
Right, but I
to be
will
honest
say
with you.
this. I will
It's
say
a deep
this.
question.
It's a deep question, but I will say this. I do believe there is life, other life in the universe. I believe that. I think with the amount of billions and billions and billions and billions of stars that are out there, billions of stars.
I can't do
I
it.
believe there are a tremendous amount of stars. It's amazing. They are big, bold, fantastic.
I believe there are a lot of. Yeah, I believe that there are. There is other intelligent life in the universe. 100%.
Oh, yeah. For
the-
us to, I mean, in the vast of space, like, are you kidding me? Like, if for us to, first of all, if we were the only life forms, then we fucking are some pieces of shits because we take life for granted. Okay. Just to think even that concept, if we were the only life form out there, like that would really should put it in perspective. Be like, maybe we should just treat each other decent and, stop being douchebags to one another. I don't know. But I agree with you, dude. There's no way. Like, I know they're every 16 days they're picking up a signal right now. I keep reading up on that and following up
I didn't hear about that
story. It's something I have to pull it up, but they're receiving a signal. It's something that's on a pattern like every 16 days or whatever in the deep space. And I mean, who knows what that shit is, man? You never know.
You never know. And in the oceans, I think, you could go all James Cameron's Abyss, but I do think that, there is no doubt there's a lot of stuff about our oceans that we don't know about. And it's a really cool, I'd love to see more of a movie like that again. Of course, I guess that one with, what's her face there? Twilight Girl. What was it called?
God, yeah, with Kristen Stewart. I'm just about to say that.
I never saw it, but I guess.
Oh my God! Chat room, help me out. The Kristen Stewart movie where she goes like 20,000 leagues under the sea. It's not 20,000 leagues. I'm just saying, like she just goes.
Was it called like Water or?
Was it called Water?
I don't know, something like that. Underwater.
Underwater.
Nick says underwater. Well, hey, you're underwater.
Yes, like that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Let me see here.
But like I've always said about space is this, man, when you think about it and you think about our importance, dude, we are nothing more than a sand of fucking grain when compared to the vast of the universe.
Nothing.
Right.
We are,
so when we think we're that important, we ain't shit.
But here's the, and I
don't mean that to be negative, but it's just the reality.
100%. And I think I said this on a show recently with you, but I'm going to say it again because it's totally true. And okay, so in Toronto, and you can do this on you can do it on a 30-story building. It doesn't have to be a really tall one. But what's crazy is that in Toronto, we have the CN Tower, and the CN Tower at one time was the tallest structure in the world. And then the Burj Khalifa, the one that Tom Cruise is hanging off of in Dubai in Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, eclipsed it in 2007. Anyway, so the big main observation pod of the CN Tower is 116 stories above the ground. That's really tall. But so when I'm up there, or when you're up there and you're looking down, everybody looks like ants. And of course it makes sense. You're 100,
and that's from that view,
right? And of course it does make sense. You are 116 building stories above the ground. That's huge, right? That's tall. By any measure for us humans, that is gigantic. It's taller than the World Trade Center. It's taller than the Empire State Building. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. But it's nothing.
No, I mean, just think about if you had the traveling capability, Dave, to be able to travel, to look from outside our Milky Way to look in, you wouldn't even see us.
No,
we're not even a grain of sand.
But here's the thing that's even crazier. In our own atmosphere, you go up 3 miles in our own atmosphere, There's like how many?
No, we're nothing. We're dots.
We're nothing. Like, and so if we're nothing, if we are literally nothing at only 116, like say like 1,300 feet in the air, we're literally little specks, only 1,300 feet in the air. Can you imagine? What the hell are we? Like, as you said,
compared to the universe,
nothing.
We're nothing.
We're nothing. Literally nothing.
Nope.
We are nothing. And it's crazy. That perspective, I'm like you, man. That perspective is just mind-blowing. It's just wild.
It always gets me. Those are the best nights when you're smoking and you're just looking out the window and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yep.
It's true. Intel Wild says, Dave, just a hunch I get, but I'm calling 53,000 US is going to be raised for It's Me, Billy. Oh, buddy, I hope you're right.
Oh man, I hope so too. That'd be great for you guys. God,
it would be.
That'd be great.
Look, if we're able to raise 53,000 US for It's Me, Billy, you guys will have. You guys will. We will deliver. We will deliver. For those of you that may not know, we are, of course, about to launch our Indiegogo campaign for It's Me, Billy, probably I'm hoping maybe in the next week or so. The budget we're looking to raise is about, now there will be a set amount because there has to be, but right now we just haven't agreed on sort of what one we want to go with yet, but it will be between 40 and 45,000 US, somewhere in there. And it's going to be tough. Like I said, we know this because Black Christmas isn't it's not Halloween. You know what I mean? It's certainly you can probably raise that in your sleep, but we are confident that, we're going to do everything we can to raise that money because the people involved, we're taking this very seriously and we want to deliver a Black Christmas fan film that you guys can be proud of, that we can be proud of, but that you guys can too. And the production value that we are looking to bring to the table on this is second to none. I mean, it's. Do
you know the status also on Dylan's New Nightmare?
Yes, Dylan's New Nightmare is, we were going to shoot at the plant. Obviously, we were going to shoot in May. That didn't happen. There was rumblings and talk about 2 or 3 weeks ago that maybe we were looking at the beginning of August. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen for 2 reasons. Number one is Nora Hewitt needs more time to create the prosthetics for my transformation into Freddy. And because the industry has been shut down, things in Hollywood are just starting to open up sort of here and there. And Nora's just now beginning sort of that process, and it's only just beginning the process. And of course, the border between Canada and the US is still closed and will be closed until the end of July. So
maybe even longer.
And maybe even longer. So so that's the factor, is that Freddie can't get to the US and Nora needs more time. So we're sort of looking at maybe September now, maybe. But we'll see. It's still happening. But it's just things have been delayed. So I have done a couple of table reads with Miko and Vince and Cecil and Nora and everybody, and we're still excited about it. It's still, there's a lot going on behind the scenes with both projects. So just keeping our fingers crossed that this thing
Are they dubbing your voice, by the way? Are they going to dub it to change it in post so you sound a little bit more?
They will record my dialogue there with a boom mic. I would imagine so. And then I had offered Cecil, because I'm set up here to do that. I had offered him. I don't know if he'll take me up on it or if he wants to do it on his end, but I offered, if you want to send me Freddy's dialogue, I can play around with it. And try to get it, play around with the pitch a bit and things like that to kind of hit that sweet spot. Because what's important is, and Cecil's right, is that I can go like this. I can say like, "You are all my children now," but look at my mouth. "You are all my children now." If I'm doing that in the makeup, I'm clearly doing something to make myself sound deeper, right? That's great for voiceover. It's great if I'm doing an animated Freddy where you don't see that, right? But when you have him, I need to look like this. I need to look like I'm talking normally, but I sound like this. And they had to do that with Robert.
Yep.
That's not Robert's voice. Now, ironically, as Robert has aged and he does the Freddie laugh or the Freddie
He sounds
voice,
more like it naturally.
He kind of sounds more like it a bit. But back in the day, like if you watch, and I've said this 1,000 times, when you watch the original Elm Street trailer and it gets to the point where Nancy's on the phone and the tongue comes out and you hear him say, "I'm your boyfriend now." It literally in the trailer, you hear Robert, you hear, "I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy." That's what you hear. But in the movie, it's, "I'm your boyfriend now." I mean, they've clearly lowered the pitch and they do that. And it's understandable why you would do that, right? I mean, he's I totally get it. But it's not that it's not about lowering it. It's about finding that sweet spot where it doesn't sound too processed. And so I've offered my services to Cecil that if he wants me to take sort of a crack at it, I have the ability to do that here at home. And then I would just send, the files over to them, and then they would just sort of place them in the timeline where they see fit. Or they may do something on their end. They may want to handle all that. But will my voice be pitched or processed a little bit to kind of find that sweet spot? Yeah, of course, because I need to be able to. Now, I will naturally sort of be like, if I'm talking to somebody, I might be like, I don't want to say a line from the film, but say I say something like, which I don't, but say it's like, like I'm your, like, you're all my children now. I might say it like, "You're all my children now," right? Like just kind of have a little bit in there like this.
Sure.
And then when you get into post, you can kind of deepen, you know what I mean? Kind of have that. So lay the foundation so there's something there and then kind of
build from
play
that.
with it. Yeah, exactly. Something like that. So it's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. I'm going to be in a makeup chair for like 4 hours every day for a week. It's going to be amazing. I'm looking forward
Good
to it.
shit.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. All right. I know we went over time here, but a couple of super chats did come in. Let's see if we can get these. Matthew Ferresi, I hope I'm saying that right. Dave, love your new H2 mask. Looks amazing. Oh, yeah, the one right back there. That was Roland Kelly that made me that and sent it to me just as a gift. So, Roland, if you're watching, thanks very much, man. Really appreciate it. Definitely cool stuff.
Yeah,
it's always
good.
amazing. Yeah, it's always amazing when people reach out to you and do that. I know, Tony, you've had people do that to you as well. And it's just, it's so like, it's like, wow, that really means a lot. We don't do this for that. So when somebody does do it, it's extra special,
I look at it like this, the guy who's made both of the Myers masks back here is the same guy, the H2 and the H1 mask that's in the corner. Even if only one person from one of my posts, because I always tag him on the post, has purchased a mask from him, I'm happy. You know what I mean? Because he gave me the mask, and it was for free.
Yeah.
But if at least one person, I did, my job, I got him some business, and that's really the ultimate goal for me is to get him some business and people to buy the mask.
That's right. Yeah, 100%. Dreed Mem77 says, thank you, buddy. Says, Dave, what do you think about Toronto as being one of the hub cities for the NHL when it returns this summer? I think it'd be great. Toronto, I mean, it makes sense, right? It's the home of the Maple Leafs.
Sense. You guys
home
are
of the
hockey gods up there.
Hockey, yeah. It's the Toronto, Montreal. I mean, it would be like, yeah, it makes sense. I'm okay with it. And let's see. We just get a couple of these non-ones here. Zach Axiola says, Dave, do you like any of the Jaws sequels? Personally, I only like part 2. Same here. I love part 2. Don't like the rest. Envoy says, hey, Dave, can you get James Rolfe on McRae Live sometime? Who's James Rolfe? Why does that name sound familiar? James Rolfe? Rolfe? I don't know who that is. Yeah, I don't know who that is. Who's James Rolfe? You'll have to enlighten me on that. I mean, I might know who it is. I just don't know the name off by heart. Feg Galiticus, I think I'm saying that right. How much do you need for your college horror movie? My college horror movie? I'm not in college. I haven't been in college in over 20 years.
Is that
so I don't.
A rhetorical question?
Is that You just
said the
how
amount.
much? Yeah. Do you mean It's Me, Billy? That's not a college horror film. It would be
maybe he thinks you're setting it in college.
Or maybe.
No.
You mean Port Robinson Road?
That's the one he's talking about.
Ah, right, Port Robinson. Sorry, I was like college horror movie. Yeah, sorry, buddy. Yeah, no, Tony got to it first. Port Robinson Road, my college horror. Well, I don't know because the script has
That's an
been
original,
written.
right?
That's an original piece. Yeah, that's an original film. That's a feature-length film, and that is something that's been in development hell for a long time. But the script's written. I'm always every now and then go back and tweaking it, polishing it, seeing where it's at. It's very science-based as much as it is supernatural-based. So obviously, there'll be times when I have to go back and does the science still hold up? Like the supernatural, you can do anything. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what time.
It doesn't matter.
But-
Even like what they just did in the Kevin Bacon movie here. You can still make a good haunted story.
Exactly. But when you're mixing science with supernatural, the natural with supernatural, you always got to make sure that the science is still sort of up to date. And so there is that aspect to it. And it probably would be in my best interest to have somebody in the field for which I'm, kind of taking a look at and sort of, yes, this is true, this is right, because obviously there's things in there that I want to talk about, that I touch on in terms of death and cells and oh, my light just went out over there. It means it's time. It's time. Even the light's like, fuck, end
Dave,
it.
end it.
But so that's where it's at. And in order to really know how much you need to make that movie, you would have to do a production budget. You'd have to do a shot list, break everything down, and just, know. I don't know for sure, but it's not a $40,000 movie. I mean, it would probably be, I would say the very low end is probably $500,000 and your high end is probably, $2 to $3 million or something like that. I mean, it'd be like a Blumhouse film. I don't mean in terms of its execution, but in terms of, how they do low budget film. Hey, we're going to make a horror movie for like $3 million. It's that kind of thing with everything that I've written here, the cast, the things that I want to do. It's not location heavy, which is good. There's only a couple of locations, but it's a cerebral film as well, and there's a lot of sort of I mean, maybe you can make this thing for maybe a $1.5, $1 million, $1.5 million, maybe, something in the Insidious realm, perhaps. But it's not I don't want people to think like it's just a horror movie, a supernatural ghost movie. It's more layered than that. It's deeper than that, and that's intentional because then it's more original. And it stands out that way. So that's what you're talking about. Yeah. So I don't really know, but somewhere around there, probably,
I got a question I want to answer if it's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
From Michael Anderson. Do you think comedy will ever have the balls again, or has woke culture taken over for good? I think everything has a cycle and wokeness will die out eventually. I want to believe that, man, but I don't think so, because this I'm offended thing really goes back to around 2012 and it's just progressively gotten worse. Yeah. And I we said this earlier. I think people need to be prepared that how dialogue is written going to totally change. You're going to see a lot of changes in that.
Yeah, that's true.
Just the way how scenes are played out in movies, that's all going to be changed. And it is what it is. Hollywood is a very left-leaning community, and and it's their money and they have a right to create the way they want to create. But at the same time, that doesn't mean people have to go out and buy it. And that doesn't make you a bad person or you're a prejudiced person if you don't want to go buy something. It's just, I've always said this when it comes to movies. When I go to a movie, I just want to be entertained. I don't need anything else from the real world brought into that, and I just think we're reaching a point where I don't know. I don't think we're going to go back, but you always hope that things will mellow out and, good stories will be written and good movies will be made. But
what I
interesting.
First of all, I agree with everything that Tony has said. And I want to also say this. My hope is that context and nuance are not destroyed, because context and nuance matters. We do not live in a black and white world, no pun intended, with everything that's going on right now, but you know what I mean. There's nuance you to know what I mean, you instill context, right? And nuance. And that's why that's so important. You cannot get rid of context. You can't get rid of nuance. There are so many shades of gray, and to just sort of make everything yes, no, black, white, you say something, you're gone, you're fucking gone, you son of a, it's like, Jesus, like it's not a world I want to be in, man, because there's so much gray area. I mean, look, there are certain things in the world where you have to be defined. It has to be black and white, like policies, you know what I mean? Policies have to be rules, you know what I mean? And things like that. But in terms of life and just living life and who we are as people and talking about issues and being able to talk without being, you can't get rid of that, man. You can't if you get rid of context and nuance, we're fucked. We're fucked.
For entertainment, we are.
Well, for many things.
Well, not really. We've got our old movies that we can.
That too. But in terms of just to get, so that's what scares me.
These next few years are going to be it's going to be interesting to see what Hollywood cranks out and if they continue their narrative in the direction that I think we all see where it's heading towards.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
I know
what you mean, man.
Everybody just smoke some weed and get along.
Smoke some weed and relax. Frank Riker.
Eat a brownie.
Exactly. Frank Riker, we'll leave it here. Dave, who do you think dies and kills? I see what you did there, Frank. Frank knows I've been asked that 8,000 times, so he thought he would ask. Everybody. How about that, right, Tony?
Everybody.
Everybody dies. Nobody's making it out alive. All right, folks, listen, that's going to do it for Tony and I on episode 75 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank my moderators, Frank Riker, Tabitha Short, Darren Sands, and Jason Knight, for doing what you guys do. You guys are amazing. 100%. I want to thank all the super chats that came in. Really appreciate you guys supporting the channel in that way. And of course, the non-super chats as well. And as I always say, if we didn't get to your question, it's never personal. It's a lot of people in the room and we're always trying to manage. Try again next time. Try again tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time for episode 71 of McRae Live. Make sure you tune into that. Tony, any last things you want to say?
No, good stream, good show. Looking forward to, we got another good one next week. Yeah, that's right.
We got another good one next week. That's right. Tony and I will be back. We'll be back next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. All right, we're out of here. Cheers.